Yo, yo, yo. Oh, can people even hear me? Yo, yo, yo. But yeah, man. I'll wait till like a few people join up here. And then I'll start like getting into some I'm giving some of my viewpoints on this stuff. Yo, what's good, Z Gaming? What is poppin', bro? We got Alhan in the building as well. What's good? What's good? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? And we got Lewis in the building. What's good? Welcome everybody tuning in. Yeah, I'll wait till like a few more people join before like I like kind of get into things, I guess. But I definitely feel like there needs to be there definitely needs to be more of a discussion about what's going on right now. In terms of this whole hacks money situation and all that. Yo, Pizza, thank you so much for the sub, bro. Hope you've been well, bro. Hope you've been well. I'm not gonna be really talking too much about like Ultimate this stream. This stream is gonna be mainly talking about what's going on in this melee situation here. And yeah, I wanna like before I give my full thoughts on it, I'd figured that like I'd go back and like look at this video on like why, or look at the videos on like why Hacks is banned, what exactly did he do, and just all that stuff first. But it definitely seems like a lot of just unjust decisions are being made, and it seems like the like major people in this community are just not handling the situation how they should be, and it's very, very saddening and disappointing to see. Although it's like it's understandable, why certain people in the community like want to keep him banned, or they may be on the fence about it. Because it's like clearly, someone who they're deeming as like mentally ill. It's understandable, like not really wanting that person to be around because you're unsure if they're going to be like a threat to other people because they're in that mental state. But I think the situation is just like a lot deeper than that, and I think that not always is just because someone is expressing that they obviously are mentally ill, or like they're showing those types of traits, it doesn't always mean separating them from something that they love and like their true passion, and just keeping them away is the answer. And it's just that's definitely like sort of where my stance lies on this at the moment, just from like what I've seen and everything. And I just feel really bad for what's going on. I feel really, really bad, and I'm sure a lot of people are like scared to speak up about this, especially if they have a opinion that is contrary to just keeping him banned, and shit like that. But I feel like now now I feel like a point has been reached to where I think it's really justified to speak up right now, especially when someone in this community who has been a part of it for so long is now really, really expressing like, yo, they're really fucking sorry, and they're willing to really be better people, and shit like that. So yeah, I'm gonna like get into it. It seems like more people tuned in here. I'm not entirely sure where to start. Like, I'm really unsure where to start. So if anybody in chat has like a video where they feel like I can kind of really get the breakdown from like start to finish, I'd appreciate that if you want to link that here. But I know that Technicals recently did a little stream on like his opinion on like what's going on, and he's kind of breaking down everything. So I figured I'd start here. Also, happy birthday, by the way, Pizza. That's awesome. You're 22. But yeah, yo, also Rita, we got Rita in the building. What's up, Rita? But yeah, I'm just gonna play this hacks video. Feel free to hang around and just go through it with me.
When the ban initially went down, Mikey made a document.
That's it.
Fair fight. Well, Disney, whatever. So I just recently finished all 7 seasons of Clone Wars, and now I'm on Bad Batch.
Well, sorry about watching this.
George Floyd. Oh yeah, probably a coincidence. Yesterday, Mikey uploaded this fucking 3-page document going over the hacks ban. I don't know if you saw way back when in like 2021 when the ban initially went down. Mikey made a document justifying the ban.
Okay.
And making arguments against hacks.
So, Mikey, I'm currently not sure who this is. Maybe it is the TO, like it's a TO in New York or something like that. Again, if anybody in chat who has been paying attention to this topic, feel free to like confirm certain things for me. But I have to start from basically, I have to start from start to finish. So I'm going through everything.
I'm going to talk about that in the upcoming video, so I'm not going to waste my time doing a whole fucking breakdown here. But this is a new document that came out yesterday.
Yo, Aramis, who exactly is Mikey? Who is Mikey? Okay, so Mikey is a TO from New York. I assume it's like the I assume Mikey is the TO for that Melee tournament in New York. I think it's called Nightclub. Maybe he's the Nightclub TO. So let's see. Let's go through this from start to finish. But yeah, let's just simply because this may be uploaded to YouTube and stuff like that. So, let's try to keep this like overall chill and not like call people, like not really call people names and shit like that. But we're gonna go through it.
Yesterday, so I'm like, okay. Let me talk about this for a little bit. I have all my tabs open. This isn't just fucking nothing. These are all tabs that I'm gonna sift through. What hacks do? It's a long story. It's a long story. Like I said, whole hour plus video is gonna be dropped about it in a few days before the month's out. I have an ad deadline, so I'm absolutely getting it out before the 31st.
Before the 31st? Oh shit! So that means that Technicals is probably gonna.
Because I need an ad approved.
Oh, I wonder if Tech is gonna release his video today. Because we may as well just watch that. But prior to that, we can kind of catch up to date here a little bit.
But okay. So before we talk about this document, Mikey responded to me on Twitter because I tweeted out that I was gonna cover this on stream. And Mikey. So I tweeted out, Mikey has uploaded yet another document justifying why hacks should be permanently banned.
Yeah, so to give like a little TLDR for people that in chat that just don't know the general gist of the situation, I believe 3 years ago, this professional player named Hacks Money, he released a like hour-long videos or documents on another professional player called Leffen. As to why he's just like this extremely horrible, like evil person, and why I guess Leffen should be like removed from the community, and shit like that. But many people find an issue with how Hacks delivered everything. They found that he was very extreme, especially with his comparisons, and just overall felt like he's having like a mental breakdown, some people compared it to, and shit like that. And I believe as a result of the whole doc that like came, not the whole doc, but like the whole accusation piece that Hacks came out about with Leffen, Hacks's fans were kind of using that as fuel to like harass Leffen, I believe. And as a result, Leffen not only was fearing for his safety at tournaments, I believe, that like Hacks would be in attendance at, but also like he's just receiving harassment essentially, after like this video was released. So as a result, what the Melee community decided to do was to put an indefinite ban on Hacks. Now it's like in Hacks's, accusation piece or whatever on Leffen, he didn't make any direct threats to Leffen. He didn't say any violent threats to Leffen and all that. Like, none of that happened to the best of my knowledge as of right now. But as a result, the community decided that they're going to ban Hacks for an indefinite amount of time. And it's currently been around, I think, 3 years that Hacks has been banned. And he's essentially been just like pleading at this point to just be let back into the community because, he just, at least he claims that he really regrets like putting up that hit piece in general, because of just he didn't think that like all of this would come from it. And it's clear that he regrets his decision and like he wants to be a better person, and that he's really, really suffering a ton from not being able to engage really with the Melee community again or compete in tournaments and like do what he loves. So right now I'm trying to just kind of clear up the things that I don't know about it. That's just like kind of like the general gist. If I'm wrong about anything, feel free to let me know. You said, didn't he get unbanned but then rebanned? That part I don't entirely know. That I don't entirely know. He got banned from New York, and New York put him under a gag order, which he broke, and then the whole scene backstabbed him and banned him. Okay. So I guess before we get into that, I'm just gonna continue playing this video. But yeah, that kind of stuff I'm not too caught up on.
Banned in Melee. I'm a few days out from finishing my full video on this, so instead of adding his new document last minute, I'm going to discuss it on the main channel stream tomorrow. So Mikey saw that, and his response was to say, hey man, while you're going over that, do you want to also explain why you blocked me after I said this? And then he quote retweets an interaction. It's not even a fucking interaction because he's not talking to me. But it's a tweet from October 20th, 2023, where I think this is when I was... What the fuck? I can't scroll up here for some reason. Hold on. What the fuck? Hello?
Yeah, we're just gonna go through this. You deactivated this shit?
What? Mikey, where'd you go? What if he deactivated it just to fucking reactivate later? You fucking bitch! You fucking bitch! Okay, if this is just me, then it's me, but like, what is this? I see you posting fucking behind a block, which is fucking corny as fuck, and he's like, oh no, I swear, you blocked me first, dude, you blocked me first. What's more likely, that the Smash TO, blocked me first, this fucking guy? What's more likely, that this guy blocked me first, and is talking shit behind a block, or I blocked him? What the fuck? I swear to God, if you deactivate it.
So real quick, he got banned from everywhere because he asked to be unbanned from events outside of New York. Wait. Really? Well, I mean, obviously, before I give my full thoughts, I'm gonna go through with what I know, but that's interesting to keep note of. Can someone explain to me who's Mikey? So Mikey is this TO in New York. I believe he's the TO of Nightclub.
Just so I can't get these clips. I'm gonna be so mad. Whatever, let's get straight into the content.
Alright.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, so this is a 3-page document going over Hax's permaban. Yo, what's up, IGP? Says you were suspended at the bottom. Yes, I know. Look, okay, that is a suspended account that I use as a burner.
Yo, what's up, Axel?
Okay.
What up, what up?
I use it as a burner so I can look at shit. All of these tabs were opened using that burner. His Twitter is still up. Okay, I'll fucking
Right
whatever.
now, we're kind of like talking about this hack situation because it's very, very important to be talking about right now. And yep. So I'm just going through like some footage. Technicals releases like a video that kind of sums up everything, and I want to just kind of be caught up to date as quick as I can. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
It's not important. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on it because he just started throwing shit for no reason. He's all like, he quote retweeted his tweet where he's all like, technicals, if I were you, I wouldn't fucking join a group chat with technicals, if you're like a minor or whatever, insinuating that I'm a danger to children. And then he thinks that I blocked him because he said that and not because he's talking shit behind a block. Whatever. It's stupid. I don't even know why he's bringing it up just because I said I was going to respond to his permaban statement, but I don't know. This is the caliber of people we're dealing with here. I'll fucking, you guys can go look it up. Whatever. His account is right here. Mikey at the
Also, what up, Kona? Appreciate you like popping
Go
into
look it
the
up if you
stream.
want. There was a whole back and forth. He's like, I actually screenshotted that I was blocked on October 20th, on October 21, 2023. So that means you actually had me blocked first. That doesn't prove shit. You've had, the last time this guy interacted with me was May 1st, 2021. This is the last time he sent me a message. Because he responds to other, you can respond to them. I'm on that.
All right, I want to get into the content.
Okay. Let's get into the content. Sorry, I wake up at like 3 p.m. I just drank some coffee. I got all my fucking tabs ready. I've been reluctant to publicly talk about the hacks ban for a number of reasons. For one, I do not want to bring further negative scrutiny to Leffen, who has been the subject of a relentless harassment campaign, or to Hacks, who understandably is having a difficult time coping with his ban from the community. Because, as we know, he's been banned. Well, he hasn't been officially unbanned for over 3 years, ever since 2021.
He hasn't
because
been officially
the TOs
unbanned.
will not all get together. The TOs don't get together to all make like a collective statement. I'll point it out in a second. But Splatoon has a code of conduct that is almost a carbon copy to Smash's code of conduct. And every time that these guys make a statement, it's accompanied by not only the infraction but an actual date. So this one, May 4th, it's like, okay, we've decided on a lifetime ban. Violation level 3, whatever. This one, we've decided on a 2-year ban. Code of conduct violation level 3. Okay, so you know. If you get banned in Splatoon, you're like, okay, it's 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, whatever. And they have a carbon copy code of conduct. This is a Splatoon code of conduct. If we go to Article 2 offenses. No, if we go to level 2 offenses, which is relevant in the hacks case right here. We have shit like directed and malicious intimidation, harassment, or bullying of participant, blah, blah, blah. It's the same language in the Smash Code of Conduct, right?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they just shared information and did the same thing. But when it comes to Smash, see, look. Directed, malicious intimidation, harassment, participant, bullying, blah, blah, blah. Same fucking thing. But when it comes to Smash, there's like no one actually volunteering their time to do these conduct cases. So that's why Splatoon is able to give like actual durations and then cite the code of conduct and then have all their signatories follow the ruling. And Smash is just...
But I'm going to say, I feel like, honestly, I feel like with the Smash community, I don't know. I don't even feel like it's just for that reason. Like, I don't even know if it's a matter of them being lazy, to be honest. I feel like so many people feel so like intimidated by like, I guess like the masses in the community, that oftentimes like they just feel kind of like stuck in between what decision they want to make. So that's why there's so many like indefinite bans. There's so many instances where there's been so many instances where like people will get banned for like or initially be banned for like 2 years or something like that, but then once the ban is over with, they'd just be like, you know what? We just don't think it's for the best, and just like continue to ban them or some shit like that. And that shit is not okay, yo. Like the current state of how everything is operated and whatnot isn't a matter of like sticking to the rules or like sticking to what is like established previously. It's about basically choosing the option that they believe without a doubt will lead to the least amount of like backlash, pretty much. Like that's like their main priority, even if like choosing that priority goes against like an established rule, basically. I think I think that kind of plays into it as well. I'm just putting that out there.
Just like, I think we'll have you banned for 3 years and then unban you in like fucking like 5 random tournaments, and then if you fuck up their conditions, we'll all dogpile you again, and then ban you everywhere for life. Which is, I don't know how that system is functional, but it's what we've been working with for the past couple years.
All right, hold on.
And then ban you everywhere for life. Which is, I don't know how that system is functional, but
I want to go back and like see what he said before.
Ban you in like fucking, but when it comes to Smash, see, look, directed, malicious intimidation, harassment, participant bullying, blah blah blah, same fucking thing. But when it comes to Smash, there's like no one actually volunteering their time to do these conduct cases. So that's why Splatoon is able to give like actual durations and then cite the code of conduct and then have all their signatories follow the ruling. And Smash is just like, I think we'll have you banned for 3 years and then unban you in like fucking like 5 random tournaments, and then if you fuck up their conditions, we'll all dogpile you again, and then ban you everywhere for life. Which is, I don't know how that system is.
That is actually
what we've been working with.
Fucking preposterous. That is really, really preposterous, bro.
Okay.
But
Kind of what? Wait, what? What are you guys talking about? Go boxing ring? I want to keep this VOD up, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say to that. Thank you for the 5.
Right, we're going to keep this more.
Thank you for the 5 The Locks. Technicals, I want to see you as a guest in Biggest Problem in the Universe. Would you go on that show with Dick and Vito? I've talked... The last Kick or Keep that I went on, Destiny's Game Show, I think Vito and Dick were there. They got good vibes. I mean, it's like funny to be in a conversation with them. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they know how to do some stuff. I would go on and do some appearances with like Mudahar's podcast or like whatever. But right now I'm just focused on doing my own content.
This guy is named he goes by Technicals, and he makes like a lot of videos on just issues within the Smash community, and tries to expose a lot of, you know, what he believes is like wrong, and just yeah, that's what Technicals does primarily.
Because I'm saving
goes
up
over
money to
shit in the
move
community.
And, add skits back to my videos, because I like doing the long form video essay shit, but it gets tired. It's not fun. It's not funny. The 100K special that I'm doing after this video about the Leffen hack stuff it's basically like a whole skit, and it's gonna call back to the Gucci Rat stuff. And I'm also doing a merch drop for that one. So that's the 100K special coming up after we finish that. But thank you for the 5. So he's
Yo,
having a hard time
Dons, what's
coping
good,
with
homie?
his
Appreciate
ban
you
from the
stopping
community.
by.
Obviously, this was his
Appreciate
life
you,
for
hella.
over a decade.
We're just going over some like another issue that's been happening as of lately in the community, or not even lately. It's been for a while, the situation. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by though. We're gonna be focusing on this for now.
He got a hand surgery just so he could continue to play Melee. He created a controller just so he could continue to play Melee. If anyone's gonna cope from a ban with Smash, it's gonna be Hacks. Additionally, we're right here now. Additionally, having written and publicly justified the initial ban document, like I was talking about earlier, Mikey made a document justifying the ban after it happened the first time. I did not want it to appear as if I was primarily or single-handedly responsible for banning Hacks, because he's only one cog in the machine. And
let me read this real quick. Okay. I did not. Time coping with this ban. Additionally, having written and publicly justified the initial plan, I did not want the PRs to primarily. Okay.
the TOs do not all follow like a pyramid hierarchy. It's more like a social domino effect. So if someone with clout
that's
bans
fucking
someone
perfect.
over here and
That's
then gives a
that's a
justification, you're
perfect
almost,
analogy.
like, socially pressured to
Yep.
ban other people,
100%.
and that's how it functions. It functions as like a social domino effect.
That's so spot on because I know that is literally what takes place even in the New York Ultimate scene. That's just how it works. There's a lot of instances where, you know, TOs literally feel pressured to follow another TO's protocol who they may think is like technically higher up than them or whatever, because they don't want to like draw bad blood with them or like cause controversy, because that's what this shit is about. It's about primarily it's about business, and that is how it always, that's how it is, dude. It's a lot of it is literally just about business and maintaining connections. It's not always about doing what people think is right. It's about choosing the option that leads to the best business. And that concept is honestly a fucked up concept. It's fucked up and very, 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 very bad. When you're essentially just choosing the option that is, you know, against your against like what your heart wants or what you really think is the right thing to do. And it's difficult though, because people being in that position, like for those TOs who are in that type of position, it's very, very hard to not want to choose the option that's going to lead to your business being successful, because bro, it's like this is what you do like for a living or whatever or something. So a lot of people are just basically like not even to associate it like this, but are like frame trapped almost into like choosing the decision that leads to them just being able to continue doing what they do. Not many people want to take that step out of that boundary and being like, you know what? Even if this leads to some potential bad blood, even if I get some flack for this, I want to choose what I think is the right decision and leave it at that. Not many people, especially in the Smash community, are willing to make decisions like that. And it's hard not to. I'm not even gonna totally like you know, I almost like blame them too much for it, because like I can understand how that is, but there still needs to be a change. Like that's obviously a horrible way to go about things, and it's gonna take a lot of effort to change that.
So if one person with clout bans somebody and you don't ban them, you're probably going to get shit for not banning them, so you might as well just hop on the train early. That's normally what happens.
Yep.
Where are we? Both the initial indefinite ban and the current permanent ban are virtually unanimously agreed upon by tournament organizers. I really don't see the difference between an indefinite ban and a permanent ban.
Yep.
Especially if there's no structure to actually give people a chance to be unbanned. It is essentially a permanent ban.
Essentially a permanent fucking ban, dude.
It's like saying I don't want to fucking deal with this, so I'm going to ban you. You don't have to give a reason because it's indefinite. Like there's a chance. Oh, there's hope. You give them that little bit of hope. It's indefinite, bro. Even though some of the people didn't agree. Like, they actually met in November. He says down here. They met in November. In November of 2023, there was a more structured attempt at reaching a consensus, but TOs ultimately disagreed on the ban length. And so hacks continued to be banned from some events and unbanned from others. Yeah, fair second chance. They really gave him a second chance there, but...
See, that's an issue, man. That's an issue.
Most of what people have seen has come from Hacks himself, and unfortunately, drama YouTubers who are exploiting the situation for their personal benefit. Make sure that you donate. While making next to no effort to understand anything about it.
Obviously, sarcasm.
I've been I've been looking at these fucking cases for years.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I actually have a financial incentive.
yeah, just to be clear, I'm doing this because not only am I gonna make a tweet about it and really state how I feel about it, but I feel like going through the context with multiple people, some people who aren't as caught up on everything, I think is just honestly for the best. Like, I'm not doing this shit for fucking money. I'm not doing this shit for anything. So just, I mean, I know that the people who are in here in this chat already know that I'm not doing that kind of shit. But yeah, there's just certain things that need to be talked about, and it's a lot, and it's I think for the best to kind of go through it with people, and we all see what we'll come to at the end of it.
To give you guys the facts and like go out here and get citations, go out here and get fucking get like interviews with fucking roommates, like how I did during the Sky House case. I have a financial incentive to do that because it makes my content better. Mikey doesn't get paid. Mikey doesn't get paid to make these 3-page documents. He's doing it for the love of the game, the love of the sport, the love of permanently banning people from his community. I'm financially tied to give you guys good content. So if anything, that just makes it better. Right? It's my fucking job. If I do a bad job, I don't get donations. I don't get new subs for making shit low-effort content. Anyone else can do that. That's why it's only me and Franchise who... And then also he says here that...
That cockroach doesn't deserve
I only donate when I asked.
When I asked? Thank you for the 5, Patchy. What does he say here? Yeah, right here. There is nobody whose job it is to collect evidence about cases or recommend band lengths. This could be a mutually beneficial arrangement if you guys weren't so fucking insufferable to work with, and just because I said I was going to read your statement, you then go on Twitter, start posting Kendrick memes. When you look, you're not fucking Kendrick. If anything, you're Rick Ross without a fucking trim up. Okay? You're not Kendrick. Wop, wop. I don't even understand. It's so childish. It's so childish. I don't understand why you even went there, but whatever. But this could be a mutually beneficial arrangement where me and Franchise actually do the work that no one in your community is doing. Getting evidence, spending time reading documents. But you guys are so fucking insufferable. That's why I'm an asshole. Because you'll do shit like, oh, tech is a danger to children. Because I said I wanted to respond to your document. What the fuck is that, dude? Like, what is that? All you guys do is, like, post allegations, frame people as being morally compromised because you guys are all good people, obviously. You lost fucking Panda Global. You lost Hacks now because you're unwilling to compromise. You guys can't even all get together and agree on a band length. You don't even understand how to interpret your own code of conduct. Splatoon can do it. Splatoon's like, oh, level 3 infraction, 2 fucking 3.1.
Yep.
That's 2 years, dog. That's 2 years right there.
Yep.
In Smash, it's like, oh, it's fucking indefinite until I guess we can all agree at some point.
And that is fucking horrible, bro. That is horrible. Horrible. It's just that's the thing, bro. Like, I'm trying to keep it professional, but there's really just no order, man. There is no order. It's just people are scared to take that step to, like, go against what they believe is like the public, like, a lot of people just don't want to go against the majority of the public, and that's their main priority. Like I said, that is the priority. And because the public opinion can potentially sway, like, back and forth, especially on, like, a topic like this, they're like, they're entirely unsure with, like, the decision that they want to make. So, you know what I'm saying? That definitely plays a part into it. and it's just not good. It's not good.
Like, what the fuck? Okay, where are we going? Let's go back up here. So he said drama YouTubers. Okay, that seems to have resulted in many misunderstandings about the case. I've seen a number of people who, because of Hax's constant public pleading for an unban, believe that his ban is still indefinite rather than permanent. Again, I don't see the difference. What's the fucking difference? I hope that offering a clear TO perspective on the situation might give people a better idea of why organizers arrived at the conclusion they have. Okay.
Okay, to be clear, Hax is...
Let's
okay.
try to not pause as much, because I want to get through this document. To be clear, Hax is permanently banned from Smash tournaments for defamatory claims that he made about Leffen, including alleging, without any evidence, that he conspired to make false allegations of sexual misconduct against Zero for his personal gain. I go way more into depth in this, in the video that's coming up. But when Mikey says something like, this is a defamatory claim, to prove that something is a defamatory claim, you have to first prove that the statement is false, right? So by saying that this is a false allegation, or to say that this is a defamatory claim, he's essentially saying that Leffen did not spread this stuff about Zero for personal gain at all. It's like, how can you prove that? How can you prove your side of that?
Yeah, I do agree with the point that he's making there. It's like, how can you can't totally like prove whether or not Leffen was doing it for personal gain or for another reason. Because, like, you know, let's say Leffen genuinely believed that that was the case and was trying to just like bring justice to the situation. Like, you personally cannot, like, I don't really think you can prove that on your end. Because Leffen could have done that for either of the reasons. So it's like to just insist that, you know, to insist that like Hax is like wrong about this and like ban him based on that, like with that being like a factor in it, like in terms of like the sexual misconduct part, is just like, I just don't think that that's valid. Like, it's one thing to, like, you know, obviously if someone comes out with, let's say, like a false allegation, right? Let's say Hax came out with a confirmed false allegation in regards to another player. Like, oh, this player did this, you know, years ago, and they deserve to be banned from the community. And then it turns out that it's proven that, no, this player didn't actually do that action. Now, I think that it would be justified to really give Hax, like, you know, he really has to face consequences for that. Because now you've just, you know, now you can get sued for defamation, and a bunch of other things like that. But in this instance, if you are stating that, you know, another player in the community, in this case Leffen, he came out with a bunch of stuff, like a lot of false allegations relating to sexual conduct, in regards to Zero for personal gain. There's two things here. One, as far as I can remember, Leffen did support Jisoo, I believe, when all this stuff was coming out, in regards to like certain things on the Zero situation and like the whole sexual misconduct stuff. So he did help to like get her voice out there on the topic and like supported her side. And as far as I know, Zero ended up winning a lawsuit against Jisoo. I could be, if I'm wrong about this, let me know. But this is as far as just from what I've seen. Apparently a lot of that was debunked. Like a lot of, what went on or whatever, or like the major accusations relating to like Zero and Jisoo, apparently it was debunked to my knowledge. And there was a lawsuit, and I believe that Zero won the lawsuit. It was like a settlement or something, as far as I know. I'm not sure if everything was debunked, but I know a lot of the, like probably a lot of the major things were debunked there. So just because of that, I don't think that including this and saying, all right, this is why we banned him, I don't think that that's valid. Like, I don't think that is totally valid.
Right? When Leffen, before any of the Katie shit was posted about Zero, Leffen posted this twit longer. Thank you for the 10, Taka. You tricked me? How did I trick you? Yeah, before the Katie allegations or anything was posted, Leffen posted this twit longer about Zero. My thoughts about Jisoo Zero. It's simply a long, nuanced post with some more info. Where he talks about the Apex story. He talks about getting in touch with Jisoo because he was seeing her get a bunch of shit because people were calling her a liar and a clout chaser because she brought up Zero, like, putting hentai onto the big screen in the Sky House, which is what I actually reached out to one of his roommates for. There was like two roommates that I talked to, but this was one of them, Orion, and this is what he had to say about the allegation. One of the people that actually lived in the house, supposedly displayed on the big screen television.
That doesn't even sound like something he would do. Maybe that's something he does on his own time, but to just throw it up on the big screen, especially with how crowded the room was, I feel like it's weird that she would make that claim and then nobody else, with how crowded our houses were at any given time, be able to back that up. I don't know where she at with that one. I'm gonna disagree. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
That's someone who lived in the house that I went and talked to see like what was going on with that allegation. So in Leffen's version of this, he's trying to defend Jisoo's framing of this, saying, oh yeah, Zero's the kind of person who would do that because when I was at Apex, this Apex 2013 story over here, when I was at Apex, he sat down on my sleeping bed and started looking at hentai with Japanese players. I was like, oh, okay. But then Zero, right after he posted this, reached out to those. So this is the thing. Those screenshots of the fucking people vouching for Zero saying like, oh no, we were just looking at official art of the characters that are from the Japanese players in this story. Those are all censored because I don't want them to get dogpiled by the Smash community just for vouching for Zero because obviously he's canceled. But Leffen could easily talk to any of those people in that story and get their recollection of events, and if it lines up one-to-one, then that just makes his story stronger, right? But months after posting this allegation, in his legal declaration, which he signed over in the lawsuit between Zero and Jisoo, it's the same fucking story. He doesn't reach out to anyone. He's like, as a result, in July 2020, I posted a statement about Jisoo and Zero. In that statement, I described how I first met Zero at Apex 2013. Get this shit out of my face. When he and a few other Smash players came over to where I was staying with other Smash players, as I said in my statement, at one point someone brought out a laptop and Zero and a few other players sat down on my sleeping bag. One of them hugged my pillow, and they started showing each other very explicit pictures of their anime waifus. So he links to his original statement, and that's the only evidence he links to.
Okay, I'm just gonna like pause this and read this. Did not ring true to me. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. It doesn't even sound like. It sounds like obviously like Leffen is like supporting Jisoo. Like clearly, like he's he's like supporting Jisoo in this. But I don't think he's like super committing to being like, oh, like, you know, just because he's basically I don't think Leffen's really doing anything like it with right here, like it's like too what's the word? Like he's like super taking a side. He's stating like his experience with Zero, and because he had that experience with Zero, for Zero to then say, "Oh, like no, I wouldn't do this," it just goes against you know, what Leffen believes that like he basically did in the past. So seeing how like Leffen is going about supporting Jisoo, I don't think he's doing anything wrong necessarily. Like I don't think he's doing anything wrong here. But of course, tying it back into the like the whole Hacks thing, like Hacks saying, "Oh, like Leffen is doing this because of this huge like conspiracy reason." Obviously, that is like that can be considered very, very extreme or whatever. Like that's very extreme to say about Leffen and everything. But yeah, still as a TO, making a decision to like ban Hacks for saying that about this situation is just like a little bit too much. That is not like that is too much in my opinion.
It's fucking Exhibit A, the first exhibit out of all of them, which obviously there's no more exhibits. So his only evidence for saying this is just him linking back to the Twitlonger that we just looked at, the original Twitlonger. He doesn't reach out to any Japanese players. He doesn't reach out to anyone involved in the story, and this is months and months and months after, when he's signing it over for a legal declaration where he has time to actually gather those sources.
So that's the thing. I don't feel like even in like what Leffen is saying, I don't feel like he's making it clear that like he can't be wrong about this instance though. Like I don't feel like he's saying like without a reasonable doubt like Zero even like most likely did this. Like I don't feel like I've gotten that vibe from like Leffen's posts or you know what he said on the thing. He's just saying like, oh, like I can see this happening because of my experiences with Zero in the past. That's from what I read so far. It doesn't sound like he's saying, all right, this is like this even most likely happened or like probably happened. He's just more so saying, all right, I know this about Jisoo. I know that you know, she's not going about it for this reason or whatever. But he's also not saying that, all right, like Zero like 100% did this or whatever. That's how I feel about it. But yeah. So
he won't even spend
but
the additional time.
But Tech is even saying like, you know, he's not like Leffen isn't even taking the extra mile to like Leffen is not taking the extra mile to like get opinions from other people prior to even saying what he's saying right now about like, you know, about Jisoo's side and, you know, just Zero, the whole thing. So it's Tech is like, I guess, considering that like just like it's like reckless and like irresponsible. Like you're gonna come out with all this stuff without even taking the extra step or like taking the extra step. Like you're probably clearly biased, and like, you know, you can have like an ulterior motive at that point.
Time to prove that is wrong. So you can say, oh, well, those DMs of those Japanese players vouching for Zero, they're fucking anonymous, whatever. Leffen could go to those same people and they will tell him the exact same thing. Yet he refuses to fact find any further than his initial fucking post that he rushed out in defense of Jisoo. And then, after he posts this, he posts another twit longer highlighting some random fucking person who DM'd him saying, I don't know if this helps nail Zero more, but please censor me. And it's literally just talking about Zero in his own Discord. Adults posting hentai. In like he had like this Mafia game that he'd do. Or he had this game where like the person who sent him the best hentai or whatever, he'd run a game of Mafia. Leg you, thank you for the 5. Fuck Leffen, here's 5 quid. Thank you, bro. He'd have this game where whoever sent him the best hentai would get a Mafia link, and these are all adults. And the only person who he didn't check the age for, which was a moderator for him at the time, was literally begging for him to send it, and they were over 18 anyways. But then they went on Twitter, and they were all like, Zero never asked for my age. And then that's probably how Leffen saw this. That person later apologized. It's in one of my videos. It's in one of the Skyhouse videos. I think it's in the, Jisoo finally apologized. It's in one of those, the Sky series, but that person apologized for saying that shit because they were over an adult and they were just joining on the dog pile. But Leffen wants to prove so badly that Zero loves hentai that he posts 2 fucking twitlongers, with unsubstantiated evidence. So you can sit here and say, oh, it's a defamatory claim to say that he was hopping on the allegation train for personal gain. But you can't prove that he didn't. You can't prove that he didn't. I personally think it's weird that he's trying this hard to prove that Zero would look at hentai in person, and then going out of his way to say, oh, like, it's not just fucking hentai. It's actually legally considered sexual harassment when replying to people on Twitter. I think that's fucking... That shows he has a vendetta. When he's framing himself as a friend of Zero in, like, all these posts. I'd like to remain friends with both after this as well, so you could put your pitchforks down if you were expecting anything like that. Yeah, dude, you're making allegations. You posted a Twitlonger about him at the same time that everyone's getting outed for, like, rape, fucking children, and all this other shit. Like, if you wanted to be friends, you would have just spoke to him in private. But as we all know, when Zero tried to speak to him in private, he screenshotted it and then posted it and blocked him because he didn't want to be in a Keemstar headline. And then he continues to fucking talk about the situation, even going on to make 2 videos about it. So if your goal was to not be in a headline, you fucked up. Let's see. Okay. That's that rant.
See.
Sorry. Okay. This VOD will remain up, so if you guys want to go back and, like, look at what I'm saying.
Also, it's good.
So a lot of this is stream of consciousness.
What's up,
Again,
Ricky?
there's like
Good
an
to see you, bro.
over hour-long video that's going to come out in a few days, but I had to get this off my chest while it's fresh off the presses. Okay, misunderstandings. Believe that is banned in the... I hope that offering... Okay, to be clear. Conspired to make false allegations. These allegations were made in the framework of Hax's quack armchair psychoanalyst of Leffen analysis. Sorry. Yes. Hax's analysis was definitely stupid as fuck. He would make...
Alright, hold on. To be clear, Hax is permanently banned for okay. Okay.
He would make like a cogent...
Since Hax's initial indefinite ban, he has aggressively lobbied to be allowed back at events, and for much of 2023, he was allowed to attend New York local tournaments as well as some larger tournaments. Okay.
Point in his video, if you go back and watch the original evidence.zip 2, he'd make like a really solid point with a citation, and then he'd be like, flying monkeys is a term where you fucking utilize someone else to meet your malicious and evil design. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you could have just left it at the info, but that's why he would later go through and edit all that shit out, whatever. That was like 3 years ago. But yes, that was fucking stupid. His original analysis was fucking stupid. I don't know why he did all the armchair psychology shit. He alleges is a malicious psychopath. Again, speculation.
Yep.
Hax publicly released multiple hour-long videos with accompanying documents using his platform to incite harassment.
Okay, now this is something that, yep, I would highlight that too. Hax publicly released multiple hour-long videos with accompanying documents using his platform to incite harassment towards Leffen. and encourage TOs to take action against him. Now, I'm pretty sure, just like what Tech is about to say right now, to prove that you're inciting harassment, that is going to have to be proven. That's something that's a very strong like claim to make. Like it's like, and I'm already thinking now, it's like, okay, well, when you compare Leffen to obviously horrible world leaders, when you say like a bunch of whatever, some people are gonna like obviously use that as fuel to like potentially come at somebody, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person themselves intention is to incite harassment like against that person. And that's just the truth. If someone isn't like directly like kind of calling for someone to be harassed, or like that, this kind of thing has to be, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, it has to be more clear. It has to be more clear before you make a claim saying that someone is inciting harassment towards someone else. Just because people use certain things, and this is probably like a better way I can phrase this. Just because certain people use certain things people say as fuel to like harass somebody, doesn't mean necessarily that the person who said the statement is inciting the harassment like towards someone, or is like encouraging it rather, or like calling for it. Like, you know, there's a big difference between like, you know, calling for someone to be like banned, or like, this is why this person should be removed from their community, they should be banned, and then calling for someone to be harassed. There are two different things. But yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguable. He did try to get him deplatformed. Towards Leffen, and encourage TOs.
But I'd even say deplatformed. I'd argue that wanting someone deplatformed isn't necessarily the same as wanting them to be harassed. There's a big difference between just wanting like an outcome to happen, more so wanting somebody to get a lot of like internet hate, or just essentially get like, you know, for like calling for someone to get shit on. Like there's a difference there, but let's continue.
Just take action against him.
But encouraging TOs to take action, 100%. Like, that's obviously like what he wanted.
Okay. Next paragraph. Since Hax's initial indefinite ban, J Planeta P, thank you for the 14 MX, dog. Dark Triad was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, there were some memeable moments. But at this point, it's getting so fucking tiring. Like that they're doing this whole carrot on a stick song and dance where they're like, what is this? Is this the original document? Yeah, this is the first one. Where they make rules like the banned individual engages in no additional interviews or public discussions on the topic of.
We've determined that Hax will be able to return to NYC Melee events as of January 1st, 2023. As long as the player abides by the following conditions. The banned individual releases no further public statements about fellow community members, which can be considered a violation. The banned individual engages in no additional interviews or public discussions on the topic of their ban. The banned individual does not seek further appeal. To further appeal this ban with the NYC Melee tournament. Okay.
Of their ban for their own social media channels or any others. This isn't even about like defamatory claims. This is just flat out saying he is not allowed to talk about his ban whatsoever, and that's a condition for him being unbanned.
Yeah, so okay. Yeah, that's like I mean, his unbanning like a clause, because it's like, you know, since it's indefinite or whatever, there's like a clause to it, because they're still unsure clearly about how the public is going to react to everything and just all this stuff. But okay, if that's the clause, okay.
Is that not fucking like massively dystopian? But they make rules like this, and then they're like, oh, well, he agreed to it. Yeah, no shit, he agreed to it. It's fucking the only way he's allowed to play the game again. In his own city. You twist his arm, and you psychologically fucking, like, torture this guy who desperately wants to play a game that he's played for the past, like, 15, like, 2 decades. And then you're like, oh, he agreed to it, so, you know, it's fine if we permaban him if he broke it. It's, what the fuck? Of course he's going to agree to it. He'll agree to anything. You can see how desperate he is. He's apologized like fucking 16 times.
So that's an interesting, I guess, like, that's an interesting point that that like Tech is kind of making here. And I think this is where like me and him probably like kind of disagree on something like this, only because although like I value what like someone like what they actually agree to very, very heavily, because you can say that, oh, if Hacks really, really cared about like just being able to play the game again, and just like kind of like being unbanned, like if he's willing to stick to this agreement, or like if he really wants to be unbanned, then if he's willing to agree to this, he should not ever, you know, he should like follow that then. You know, but it's also like, you know, you shouldn't necessarily place somebody in that position to begin with, which is what I do agree. Like, you know, I do agree with Tech on that. Like, placing somebody in a position to not talk about their ban or like anything is very, very fucked up to begin with. So it's like, even if he agreed to it, like, you know, it's one of those things where it shouldn't have really been like a clause type shit. Like this is just, when I see it, it's fucked up. When I see it, it's fucked up. But I also think that Hacks going against like his word or going against his agreement is also fucked up. So I do think that Hacks messed up here. Like, I think he messed up here. Because I understand like how much he wanted to play Melee, like he wanted to just play Melee again, so like he probably just like agreed to it just to be able to like play for a bit again. But I guess I'm like, dang, man, I feel like he almost should have like, I want to say that like I would have hoped that for the sake of keeping his word, like prior to even agreeing to this like terms of being unbanned, he would have like tried to fight this. Like he would have tried to be like, yo, like if I'm gonna be unbanned, like I should be able to like fucking use my freedom of speech to like talk about the situation still and still how I feel, you know. But just the fact of like, you know, choosing to kind of like almost sign something, I don't know if he signed anything, but you know, like agreeing to this clause and then like breaking the clause, I also think is like, you know, it's just like not it. But it's just a tricky, like it's a fucked up scenario. It's a fucked up scenario. Cause like I don't blame him for wanting to like just do what he has to do to like play the fucking game again that he loves and compete, and like just competed in again. But obviously there's some things that I think he could have done a little bit differently. Oh no. I do think that this condition of like telling him to like not speak about it or whatever, I do think that that's like pretty off the walls. And obviously, I'm trying to figure out, okay, why? Why do they not want him to speak up about this at all? Because they don't want to like cause any more drama. Like again, it boils down to like they want like as least controversy and at least like they want all that shit as least as possible. They don't want public backlash. They don't want they don't want to be harassed themselves. Like these TOs don't want to be harassed themselves. So they're probably like, yo, we're going to let you compete, but if you go public about this stuff or you know, if you like do anything else, they may feel like they're threatened at that point. Or like their business gets threatened at that point and they're going to like reban him. But it's just like really, really not it, man. Because I think their issue, like, you're already asking somebody who's clearly been distressed to agree to something like this. Like, that's like the first mistake in my opinion. Like, there's someone who has been distressed for a while, who has been deprived of something that like they clearly have put so many years into, and they've been suffering because they haven't been able to play. Like, you're placing this kind of person in a position to like agree, like you're holding the game over somebody who has been deprived of like eating as an extreme example, but like eating food for a long ass time. And you're saying, all right, you know, despite all the fucked up shit that like you've had to deal with this whole situation, we'll let you back in if you just don't talk about it anymore. It's like, of course that person is most likely gonna just agree to it. But expecting them to like not say anything though is just not it at all. It's just not it. You know, or whatever. So we're just gonna get on with it from there.
Because he thinks that's what'll get him back.
But after like thinking about the situation a little bit more, I do agree that like, I would say that I more so agree with Tech's side on it, as to like it's just fucked up overall. Like, placing him in this position already is fucked up, which is why there should be clear-cut rules rather than just this little like making like clauses and shit. Like, bruh, come on now.
Okay. I understand that a part of the discussion about this case has been about the community's conduct process more broadly, and the regrettable amount of time this partial ban was in place. Regrettable my ass. You guys don't give a fuck. And I do think some of those criticisms are legitimate.
Hold on.
There is nobody whose job it is to collect evidence about cases. We talked about this. Even Panda had no conduct process in place. It's funny that Mikey brings up Panda because he was the, the creative producer at Beyond the Summit, and one of the people that was in those chats talking about how we're gonna make the community say fuck Nintendo and fuck Panda. Yeah, he's a part of the group that destroyed Panda, so it's interesting that he mentions Panda here. I still don't know why. Like, TK Breezy, I don't know if you guys saw that clip. It's in one of his most recent videos talking about, are people still interested in Ultimate, or is Ultimate still relevant? Something like that. Like halfway through at like the 24-minute mark or something like that, he says, Gimmer ruined my fucking life, man. And then he talks about how he canceled Panda Global without actually having anything to replace all the good that Panda did for the community. Yeah, Mikey was a part of that dog pile. So it's interesting that he brings up Panda. In November of 2023, there was a more structured attempt at reaching a consensus. Obviously, they didn't reach a consensus because they can't even agree on their own code of conduct. As I mentioned, TOs have not communicated much about the ban publicly. No transparency. Got it. Which I understand has been frustrating because everything else about this situation has been very public. Oh, shit. Yo, what's up, Prod? Thank you for the 5 gifted, man. I appreciate that. Where was I? Needs to be known. You don't need to... Is to let the community know and let the people decisions in, like, when you made the... Don't have to behind being... Think that there could be a negative outcome from fanning the flames of a situation. On the other hand, it isn't a given that the community at large should trust tournament organizers. It's good that he recognizes that. You shouldn't just believe them because they're a TO. Their only qualification is that they can fill out a fucking tournament bracket. They're not cops, they're not lawyers, they're not judges. They don't have any of the qualifications to be doing this conduct shit in the first place, which is why volunteers...
For anyone tuning in, we're kind of going over a situation that's happening right now in the scene involving a player named Hacks. We're talking a little bit about what went on, why he was been banned. He's really pleading to be unbanned and stuff like that, and we're just kind of going through everything. But yeah, dude.
I appreciate the work that they do because they're not psychologically torturing people by giving them a small sliver of hope and being like, you're indefinitely banned. Is why volunteers, like in the Splatoon community, I've actually reached out to the Splatoon conduct panel before because I appreciate the work that they do because they're not psychologically torturing people by giving them a small sliver of hope and being like, you're indefinitely banned. Maybe if you fucking capitulate to our demands long enough, and if you shut up long enough, we might let you back at some events because we're not all going to agree. But if you shut up and follow our rules long enough, you might have the chance to play the game.
Yep. That's
At least they don't do that. At least they're like, okay, 2 years, you're good. That's how you treat people. That's how you treat...
That is how you fucking treat people, bro. Exactly. Exactly, man. And I understand that, like, it can be a tough thing to do. Like, not many people want to put a time limit on, like, certain things or certain actions or certain this and that. But that shit needs to be done, man. Like, that shit, like, it needs to be done. And, yeah, this, like, indefinite BS, like, all this stuff, it needs to go. It needs to go for a community to actually, like, thrive, man. And, yep. It's, there's just been... There has not been order, man, and that's the whole thing. There's no fucking order, bro. There's no order. There's no whatever, man. And that's that.
Community. You don't fucking treat them like they're an afterthought. Which is why I'm surprised they can't just set up, like... I'm pretty sure they have a Discord for TOs where they talk about shit, and they very obviously have the capability to dogpile people whenever they want to, like, do a permaban, or they're like, hey, dude, can you retweet my shit? Or, hey... can you guys all ban this guy because I don't like him? They can spend the time doing that. They can spend the time making 3-page documents explaining why they permanently banned someone after not giving them a fair chance. But they can't make like a public Discord server so people understand how the code of conduct works. And so they can make like valid arguments. They can look at all the safety rules, engage with their own community. They can't do the smallest bit of effort setting up a public avenue for people to discuss safety. Yeah, God forbid we can't have our fucking 3-page Google Docs explaining it after the fact. Dilcor, thank you for... Oh, member for 2 months. Thank you, bro. Junior detective. I think that trust is important because some conduct cases really do need to be handled privately, obviously. Obviously, some do need to be handled privately. I'm not fucking stupid. There's certain situations with sensitive information Like especially like how we talked about in Zero's case where the Japanese players are vouching for a story. You don't want to put those people on blast because then it will fan the flames. Which is why Leffen could go and talk to those people himself in the story to get more substantiating evidence for his allegation, yet he refuses to do so for undisclosed reasons. But yes, I do agree with that. For example, in instances where someone involved doesn't want their identity public, proper communication is how TOs earn that trust, which is what they have not been doing, by the way. This is not proper communication. This is a
So I'm not even going to speak on this real quick because I think this is like an important side note. There's definitely instances where like there will be somebody that will go in private and contact like a TO or something in private. And a lot of these instances obviously are like legitimate for sure, but there's definitely been some there's definitely not only window of opportunity, but some cases where people will go in private and basically say something to like incriminate another player, or just somebody in the world, and fucking try to get them banned, pretty much. Like try to get them banned, with kind of a story that doesn't totally line up or evidence that is fabricated. And certain players are potentially affected by that for sure, or like get affected by that window of opportunity, because there's people that take advantage of that. Oh, if I can like come up with a story and just go to this specific person in private, or like this TO in private, tell them the story, or whatever. That should be that. In some cases, some people think that that's enough to like literally ban somebody, without even telling the person what they're banned for, or like really, really giving that person a chance to defend themselves. And that type of shit is where that should not be the case. It just should not be the case. There should not be window of opportunity for people who want to be criminal to like take advantage of like a system. Like that kind of stuff, I firmly believe there needs to be, that shit should not be happening. Like that kind of shit, it shouldn't even be able to happen. Like it shouldn't even be it shouldn't be able to happen or whatever. But yeah, like, there needs to be, you shouldn't just be able to go to somebody in private, make up a fake story, and then get somebody banned. Like that just shouldn't be able to happen.
Three-page Google Doc after they've decided to ban someone for life. In a insanely confusing, like, in the NYC's, do I have it here? When the NYC uploaded NYC.
Also, on the contrary to that, obviously certain things can be handled privately, but when you're making like a hard accusation against someone, like that person who you're accusing deserves to know what's being used against them to get them banned, and they should be able to argue it. That's the whole thing. But I've heard like stories and and stuff like that of that whole system being taken advantage of, and it's 100% a thing that happens, and that's just the reality, because certain people are willing to like either vouch for a story or like make up something that happened to them just to make sure that someone who they believe is problematic, just to like get them banned, because they believe that like them like lying about a story or whatever is for the greater good. That might sound crazy, but I know that there's some people that fucking think that way, because that's just how some people do. Like they're willing to lie in some cases to have like the greater good, or what they believe is the greater good, like just end up happening. So, yeah, it's just what it is, and those types of like that whole system that even allows for that to happen should not be a thing.
Melee uploaded their permaban statement for hacks, which the head TO for this keeps fucking blaming me for all the negativity, even though it's just a really unpopular decision. Player Essence has a bigger sub count than me. Omni has a bigger sub count than me. Fucking Simple Flips, who literally just made an unban hacks video. He gets more views than me and has a bigger following than me. Yet I get blamed for all the negativity, all the dislike ratios, all the whatever comments that they're getting for this decision, because if you say technical's bad in the Smash community, you can activate that fucking primal tribalistic thought process, and that now all of a sudden they think that they're the Avengers and I'm Thanos. So anything they do after that point is now justified, even though I am not the fucking overlord of people being against this decision. It's just an unpopular decision. Tech, you're the boogeyman? Yeah, dude. Like, if you go and look at the, because the NYC head TO, he uploaded a follow-up after the permaban from NYC Melee, and he, at the bottom, he's all like, I've received a huge ton of harassment from Technical's fans, not blaming hacks for this, by the way, so I'm kind of just fed up with the whole situation. Like, what? How are you like accurately identifying that they're all from me and not Omni, Simple Flips, Player Essence, Franchise, fucking hacks, or, you know, just a person with their own fucking agency and their own opinion to disagree with you? How are you like accurately designating these people as all technical stands that are harassing you? I don't understand it. It's like they just fucking make shit up whenever it's convenient. They're like, oh, well, Technicals is against me, and that's where I'm getting all the harassment, and this is really fucked up. I'm literally getting death threats. What the fuck, guys? And then they get all the support, blah, blah, blah. And then because he said Technical's bad. Like, what the fuck, dude? You get blamed because Technical's bad? Yes. I thought you were saying because Technical's black. That could also be a factor. Let's keep going. Nobody knows anything about this case. I beg to differ. So I think there's clearly been a breakdown there. There was a stipulation from New York TOs that on paper disallowed hacks from speaking publicly about his ban. This has been criticized heavily, and I do disagree with it on principle. Maybe because it fucking violates First Amendment rights. But whatever, there's a whole argument to be made there. Obviously, that's about being prosecuted for your free speech, not about a video game tournament. But I think arguably saying that someone isn't allowed to even talk about, you're not allowed to engage in interviews or public discussions about the topic of your ban, not even about the defamatory claims. That's not even, because that's covered in number 1. Because 2.2.1 and 2.3.3 is about malicious intimidation, bullying, harassment, and about unwanted advances online, through online means. Number 2 is just flat out saying, you're not allowed to fucking talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about it, which is an insane rule, to be honest. And they're like, oh, he agreed to it, so he broke the rules, man. He fucking broke the rules. Okay, whatever, dude. Where is it? Where are we? This has been criticized heavily, and I do disagree with it on principle, but in reality, he posted multiple times about the wider ban without consequence. We gave him a few mulligans to be allowed to speak, guys. So obviously,
Hold on.
That's not what it was about. The local ban was not reinstated until he repeated his claims about Leffen. This is also not true. The defamatory claims he's talking about here, that he's like super focused on, are the Zero claims about profiting from posting allegations about Zero, and then the Jisoo, collaborating with Jisoo, posting stuff about Zero.
Okay, so just to like get this straight, right? So Hacks was basically unbanned, but then they rebanned him because he broke the like clause, basically. And then that Mikey's trying to say that that like even though he broke the clause, they didn't ban him initially for like talking about it or whatever. But the ban was reinstated when he talked about Leffen again. Okay.
And in his initial ban statement where he's justifying it, he says that I'm drawing a blank. In the initial ban statement that he's justifying it, he says that that Leffen would prefer if Zero were dead. Those are the two claims that he asserts are like the major issues from Hacks, is that he said that Leffen would probably prefer if Zero were dead, and collaborating with Jisoo to post false allegations. In the January 2024 appeal, which is the video that got him banned, this video right here, that's 9 minutes. What the fuck? This video right here, that's 9 minutes. He doesn't speak about Zero once in this video. We'll watch the full video so you guys know what he's talking about. This is the video that got him banned. This January 2024 ban appeal. And it's why NYC Melee got so much backlash. It's because it's a pretty inoffensive video, where he basically is stating how he was an original witness for evidence.zip, and referencing stuff from 2013 that actually successfully got Leffen banned for bullying, lying, and all this other shit. He references all that because it was relevant, because at the time they were talking about Sam Ox's metagame documentary, and the interviews over the 2013 evidence.zip controversy that got him banned, because Leffen wanted that stuff.
So to get caught up to speed, okay. So, yep, Hacks got banned again for breaking the clause in 2023. So he was unbanned in 2023 as of January 1st. He went to some Melee tournaments in New York City. Then he got banned because he started to talk about the whole like Leffen topic again. Now, what I'm just interested in like, what exactly did he say about Leffen again? Like, what was he saying in regards to like claims about Leffen, etc.?
Removed, and he was upset that people were gonna start hating him. And
but this video right here is him basically saying why they should appeal his ban again after getting banned basically twice. So yep, that's what we're gonna watch right here.
Think that he hated people with mental illnesses and shit like that. So that was why that conversation was relevant again, and it's why it showed up in evidence.zip too. So he goes over his reasons for believing what he believed and why he had that perspective as an original evidence.zip witness. That's what this video goes over. And he apologizes for exaggerating in this video, and even says, don't go harass Leffen, like, right at the start. Alberto, thank you for the 5. If he didn't agree to that rule, they still wouldn't unban him. Yeah, if he didn't agree to that rule, they wouldn't unban him, so obviously he's going to agree to never talk about his ban. Thank you for the 5, Alberto. Ace the Wolf, thank you for the 2. Can you make a Rise and Fall of Funimation video? You think any of you guys would click on that shit? I made the Fight Night video, and you motherfuckers...
Look, it's my biggest fan.
I love the Fight Night video. That video was fucking awesome. I would. I know, even if you guys say it right now, you're like enablers. My biggest fan. Right?
Look, it's my biggest fan.
Because I make that video, and then it gets 20,000 views, and then my brain splatter on the administration of what's going on, whispers and shit. So I want to do that. I want to do a Where Are They Now special on Twitch shit too, because being alive. And he said, and it's also the NYC Melee head TO to post this, and it's also what Mikey is referring to when he says he then began reaching out to in early 2024. While he was still banned from most majors, he attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims about Leffen. So this is early 2024. This is fucking January of 2024. So I'm assuming this is what he's talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the video that got...
Alright, let me go back. So, in my opinion, Hacks throughout the situation has done whatever he believes is most expedient to get him unbanned. Initially attempted to double down on his claims. He realized that wasn't working, so he apologized. He began reaching out to individual TOs, many of whom allowed him to attend their events. In early 2024, while he was still banned from most majors, he attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims about Leffen and has privately told TOs that he still believes them to be true. Okay. Hax has persistently tried to discuss his ban with me and other TOs. I personally haven't. Okay.
Talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the video that got people to start posting the permaban statements of Hax. So we're going to watch this real quick, just so you guys know that if we have 9 minutes to spare. I got time.
Astrop, to just give you a quick rundown. He came out with a video, or like a document, basically stating how like Leffen is like this really shitty person, comparing him to like horrible world leaders, and making basically like extreme claims about Leffen, wanting him banned, saying that he's like done certain things for just like evil motive or just personal gain and stuff like that. And as a result of these claims, Leffen, received like harassment regarding it, and also just kind of at that point is kind of scared to even be around Hax, because with Hax having all these opinions about him, he's just feels unsafe. He's like, if this guy's like really like on some mental crazy stuff right now, like, he's just kind of unsafe he doesn't want to be around Hax. So as a result, Hax ends up getting banned from the Smash community, even though he didn't make any direct threats towards Leffen. He didn't like make any violent threats or nothing, but the community just decided to ban him based on that. Then years later, Hax was basically unbanned, but he basically agreed that if he was unbanned, he wouldn't like talk about like his ban anymore, essentially, or like the topic publicly. And after getting unbanned, he eventually started to do that. Like, he started to talk about his ban again publicly, and they banned him again as a result. And then they basically made it like a permanent ban, to my knowledge, after that, because he broke like the clause. That's like the super quick, fast TLDR. But then Hax released a video to basically which is right here, to basically challenge the permanent ban, I guess. But Technicals is saying that this is what led him to get permanently banned. So that's where I'm kind of confused. But yeah.
Just so you know, I'm not bullshitting. Like, this is a pretty inoffensive video.
Hi everyone, this is Hax. I'm making this video because at this point I've determined that certain things will never be resolved unless I provide a proper explanation for my actions from a few years ago. This video is not intended to reignite things, but rather to close the void by answering the questions many people still have about the situation surrounding my ban. I'm also hoping to prove my innocence to people, or at least prove to people that I'm not as guilty as they think.
Okay, so he does the Smasher thing where you have to fucking start it out, Smasher commentary thing where you have to say, I'm not doing this to incite harassment, even though he gets accused of inciting harassment anyways. It doesn't really matter at this point. If they want to accuse you of that, they'll accuse you of that. As you'll see later in the 1 hour video, the main reason that they actually banned Hax was not because of anything Hax said, because clearly he disavows any kind of harassment of Leffen multiple times if you go through all of his content and all of his tweets, which some of them are deleted, obviously. But the main reason that they banned him is they say that his followers are doing insane stuff. And because his followers do that insane stuff every time he posts, he's actually guilty for that, for not stopping it. And that's the reason why he's permabanned, to avoid his followers doing more stuff like that. Which is not a fair assessment at all. This is an argument online a lot of holding content creators accountable for everything that their followers do. You're only accountable for your own actions as a human being. If Hax is saying, do not harass Leffen, if he's saying this is not intended to reignite things, if he's saying don't go and do this shit to Leffen, and then someone goes and does that to Leffen, is that really Hax's fault? Or is that the individual's fault who has his own,
It
you
is the
know,
fucking
system of
individual's
accountability?
fault,
He
bro.
has his own agency. He has his own individualism. Or is he just a part of the collective?
100%.
You just throw hacks on it, and doesn't matter if he said not to do it. He did it, so therefore, hack's follower's bad. I don't know. I don't find that very fair. I don't think that's a fair assessment. I don't think that actually stands up to any kind of like critical scrutiny. I don't think logically you could defend that position on a consistent basis for people that you like or people you enjoy. Let's say it's like Ludwig, the recent stuff with the speedrunner community. Because he responds to people with less followers, and then his followers start like dunking on them and shit. Is he responsible for every single dunk?
Heck no.
No, he's not responsible for every single dunk. Maybe he's responsible for fucking responding to someone way smaller than him, but he's not responsible for the specific
thing.
claims and statements made by people that are not him.
Exactly. Like that's definitely an issue also when it comes to like this shit. Is that people just think that like it's like okay, yes, to a degree. When it comes to like actually inciting something, like it has to be intentional. Like that's the whole I think that's like the biggest like takeaway from this is that I think when it comes to like proving something is intentional, that something can be done. Even if it's like a little bit tricky to do. But like if someone makes a video and they flat out say, "Yo, I don't want this person to get harassed because of this. This is not to harass them. Don't harass them. This and that." That alone should hold so much weight to the point where unless their video literally 100% contradicts it and it's as black and white as, all right, don't harass Johnny in this video. I'm making this video not to harass him, but just to express how I feel. And then in the video, the person is like, "Yo, harass the fuck out of this person." Like flat out. Like it needs to be maybe to not that degree of black and white, but there needs to be like something that is clear like that. And it's not fair to treat a situation like this any other way. Like you cannot blame, like you can't fucking try to blame someone's actions on just another person because of like what another person did. Like you cannot do that all the time. Like you really can't. So
That's not his fault. Okay? And I don't think it's fair to say that it is, especially after he fucking did his mogul mail addressing the situation, apologizing, whatever. I just don't think that that's a fair standard. If it helps, ESAM just got beat in an online Tekken 8 tournament by a VTuber. How good's the VTuber, though? That Ludwig mentality is so trash. I have plenty of reasons to dislike Ludwig, but I really think the speedrunner shit was overblown. Saying that he was excluding minorities and women. It's like, if you go through, like, top speedrunners, most of them are white men. So why are you surprised when a majority of the speedrunning event is white men when that's the majority of the people fucking speedrunning games? Whatever.
The sad truth about what happened a few years ago is that I didn't need to overthink things to such an extent. None of the lengthier videos I released were ever necessary, and I accept...
Mildly OCD, thank you for the 5. I didn't thank you, but thank you. Electrician, thank you for the 5. Leffen followers are worse, and Leffen actively encourages his fan base to harass people. Well, Leffen, that's another thing that I cover in the upcoming video. There's a whole segment called Fighting the FGC. He started shit in Guilty Gear, he started shit in Tekken, he started shit in Call of Duty, he pissed off minimum wage workers. As recently as the last 2 months, he's pissed off the Tekken community by banning people from his chat for giving unsolicited advice and then calling them shitters. He's like, you literally can't fucking read, and you're giving unsolicited advice. That's why you got banned. Like, oh, sorry that he told you something you might need to hear when you're fucking up. And then he called that Makozy guy who posted his rage clip a disgusting piece of shit. after he alt F4'd because the match was laggy. It's like, dude, you're playing a zero stakes friendly Guilty Gear match online, and you're acting like this because
My
someone
camera
lagged.
stays freezing, bro.
Just fucking, just GG go next.
Okay.
Time for them.
Yo, what's up, Nasu? Thoughts on the... I feel like and if I had to think, documents that get posted every other fucking week because they're addicted to
guys.
making themselves look bad instead of actually handling the conduct properly.
Yeah, we're gonna get through this.
I'm thinking of doing like a little for the... Obviously, I'm making this gonna be up.
However, I wasn't wrong in thinking that I had to speak up in some capacity back during that time period. Now that some time has passed, I'd like to recap the events which were ongoing back then so that I can show what a more reasonable course of action would have looked like.
Sorry, I have a dono. That's why I'm pausing. Mildly OCD, thank you for the 5. The VTuber is a mid... Thank you for the 5. He speaks very slow anyways. I think 1.5.
Game documentary. Metagame was aired to the general public on December 11, 2020. The second day of the Metagame broadcast was notable in that it contained information which pertained to Leffen's ban from 2013. This led to an exchange in which Leffen expressed that he was being defamed by his portrayal within Metagame. Samox had no choice but to agree to remove all evidence.zip related information from Metagame due to how much pressure he was faced with.
To be fair to Samox, obviously he's responding to... So I saw him speaking to someone yesterday, or this morning, technically, about the Metagame documentary. So there's two reasons why he removed some of the allegation portions from Metagame. One is because one of the people threatened to sue him for leaving it in, which I don't know why. Like, you sat down and did a whole fucking interview for a documentary, and now you're threatening to sue Samox for posting it. I think that's stupid. So I can understand Samox's point from that perspective. But also, Samox thought that it was unnecessary to put it in, which is arguable. Mouth watching his video, which is fair, I guess, as a content creator. So he removed it for also that reason, because it was received very negatively by the community. So two reasons. He was threatened to get sued, and
People know that he'd be making it up to Leffen with a 9th episode that would feature him. That episode would air on June 5th, 2021. Samox went on to win awards for producing Metagame, which contains this episode. In the aftermath of this situation, I explained that I was experiencing psychosis back when these events were ongoing. This is something that can happen in response to highly traumatic and abusive circumstances. However,
this one, he claims that he was in a state of psychosis for his original videos, or his original video, like the first one. I'm not a doctor or anything. I can't really say too much about this, but it does seem like that would explain a lot if he had like a drinking problem or something like that.
I never explained what those circumstances were, so I'd like to go ahead and do that within this video. On February 9th, 2013, Armada announced to Smashboards that Sweden had decided to ban Leffen for 1 year. At the bottom of...
So, just to recap, he's talked about the metagame stuff, which is why he posted evidence.zip 2, and now he's talking about the original ban from Leffen, which was justified. It was fully justified. And I go over in more detail in the upcoming video, but you'll see.
Of Armada's post, it mentioned that there were testimonies written during this time period which contained sensitive information.
Hold on, let me skip this part. So then he goes over the testimonies. I just don't want their names on screen for a whole lot of time. But he goes over the testimonies from the original evidence.zip witnesses, which I don't know how that's defamatory. These are the actual witness statements that got Leffen banned. They were good enough at the time and valid enough at the time to get him banned, so to then retroactively call that defamatory, I don't know if that's what Mikey's pointing out, but that's what he said so far, and we're 3 minutes in. Prod, thank you for the $2. This gifted 5 is for Hacks money. Why did you give it to Hacks? Isn't he streaming? He's not streaming right now, but he's streaming. I think if he just streamed more and ran his own tournaments, he would be doing fine, but what do I know?
Having this perspective from that point onward. This meant that when Metagame aired,
Thank you for the gifted, Prod. I appreciate you, bro.
I was the last one who witnessed it through the lens of the testimonies. I'll show a clip of when they were referenced during the second day of the broadcast.
My relationship with Leffen was very bad. We started to see sort of like a pattern, which was sort of like poison for the community, I would say.
Yeah, his trash talk was different, to be honest. It wasn't a brotherly... He went very, very personal with a lot of people, like telling people who've been to mental hospitals twice that they don't respect them, that he doesn't respect them because of their mental health.
And he gets him with the up smash, early up smash.
Like I said, always...
Him and I never got off very well. My first interaction with him was that I told him, oh, hey, I'm kind of having a really bad hearing issue where I can't really pick up and work at the same level as most people do. What he did in reaction to that was basically making fun of me. Like, he said, oh, but can you hear this? And then he tried, like, mouthing words.
So, These are all statements from people in his own community. Again, don't know how it would be defamatory. This is just factual information that was good enough to sit them down, put a fucking $3,000 camera in their face, and record for a documentary. So I don't know how that could be a point against Hacks. Again, seems like valid, credible reporting to me. As a content creator, he's using the statements from people who are actually valid sources.
It really always felt like he was focusing on my shortcomings as a human being. The community is sort of like a second family to me, you know? And if someone is acting like this towards, you know, members of the family, I do not really want to interact with that, and I know these people do not want it either. He was banned from Swedish events for about a year.
He got banned by an entire country. A country bans him. That's crazy.
I guess like you could see it as, you know, like a betrayal in a sense, but I still think it was, you know, for the right thing for the community to like take this stand against it.
It was after this segment aired that Leffen expressed that he was being defamed. I was the only person in...
God damn it. I'm not trying to show their fucking, But then, again, he's going... This whole part is going through the witness testimonies that were submitted to tournament organizers that got him banned from a country for a year.
Mm-hmm.
If people... Why am I reading this? If people actually took the time to wrap their heads... This is like the cover letter for the testimonies that he's talking about here. If people actually took the time to wrap their heads around what actions Leffen has exhibited towards me, being Hacks, Mike Hager... Oh, wait, no. I think that's Armada. Me is Armada, Mike Hager, Hacks, Vectorman, Rocky, and many more. The thought of doing anything less than not welcoming him to any future tournaments or gatherings is ludicrous. He goes over this. And then it goes straight to the conclusion.
It was because of excerpts like these that I viewed the 9th episode of Metagame as being so horrible. Within the episode, there's no mention of the Evidence.zip victims whatsoever. There are also segments in which history is revised by making it seem as though Armada plotted a conspiracy against Leffen. This is completely illegitimate, and one of the many reasons why I'm of the opinion that the episode should be banned. To conclude things, I created this video in order to clarify why that controversy happened.
Again, a little extra. I don't really think the episode should be banned, but Leffen was saying shit like, oh, and just so you know, Evidence.zip was written by Hacks because he blamed me for his insomnia. He was saying a lot of shit about the episode and the allegations, like he didn't deserve it. Like, he doesn't think he deserved the Evidence.zip ban. So what Hacks is saying here is actually valid. Because Leffen was interviewed for this shit, and obviously his opinion is now getting thrown into the ring, where he's saying, like, oh, well, this ban was... They didn't talk about how the ban was repealed because they were saying slurs and harassing my friends. These are all tweets that he made about it. Again, it'll be in the hour-long video that I'm uploading in a few days, but hour-plus video. Yeah, so I don't know, and this is the conclusion where he's literally summarizing everything.
Also, welcome everybody.
Happened.
You know, Lab, thank you for the 2.
Getting ready to
like
sum it up overall.
I'm pleading for some empathy from community leaders and tournament organizers, given how extreme these circumstances were. I was having a difficult time accepting these circumstances back when they were ongoing, and should have refrained from responding to them so hastily. I'm sorry for the hyperbole and paranoia that I exhibited on the original video. I confess that this was unnecessary. While the metagame revision was triggering, it wasn't the end of the world as I made it out to be. I apologize to Leffen and the community for projecting that narrative.
Even an apology to Leffen in this video for projecting his hyperbolic narrative, which is the psychoanalyzing that Mikey pointed out earlier in his statement.
Right.
I should also clarify that I'm not looking to hold Leffen accountable for what was explained in this video. I'm only looking to provide a record of the factual truth that I witnessed during that time period, which contrasted from what others witnessed.
Establishing that he's only trying to highlight why, as an Evidence.zip witness, he was upset with Evidence.zip being misinterpreted in a documentary. Like, that seems pretty valid to me. That seems like a valid thing to be upset about. Again, don't see how it's defamatory, is even saying he's not trying to get Leffen banned here. He's just trying to clarify why he was upset and why he said the things he did, which I think he should be allowed to as a fucking human being and as a community member.
I'd like to go back to being an entertainer and contributor for the community, but in order to do that, I realized that I have to clear my name from this. I believe the fairest outcome would be a more neutral settlement in which it's acknowledged that there were circumstances which led to this, but that I needed to do better even when being faced with those circumstances.
Saying he needs to do better, and that they can just have a neutral resolution where he can clear his name of not being fucking insane for believing what he did. This is the defamatory... There's 20 seconds left in this. Zero has not been mentioned once, by the way.
I hope the community accepts this proposal and explanation, as I can't afford to relegate myself to the current understanding many people have of the situation. Many people think that I did this baselessly and maliciously, and that absolutely isn't true. I'm sorry for ever creating this misconception. Aside from that, I've spoken my truth and will be submitting this video to TOs in the hopes of resolving my ban situation. Thank you for watching.
his only mistake in making this video, we just went through the whole video. He only goes through the evidence.zip witness testimonies, which is something that he is a valid source for. His only issue is making this public. He got permanently banned after this video. This was uploaded, what was it, January 21st, 2021. Ban statement, January 23, 2024. If you look right here. So he was banned 2 days after making this video.
Yeah, 2 days after.
Permanently banned from New York Melee after making this video, which was just let this man play the damn game. It's not that serious. This is the general response. Look at these fucking numbers. This is your community speaking. Just let the man play the fucking game. That's what they banned him for, is speaking about how he was a valid witness for evidence.zip, going through the witness testimonies of the other people. This is like 11-year-old information, by the way. Who the fuck cares if it's released? Completely irrelevant to these people's lives. Besides arguably having their names there, which, you know, he could have done better, but I really don't think he should have been banned for that. Permanently banned for that? Clearly, he's just not allowed to talk about evidence.zip or else he'll get permanently banned. And Mikey frames it in this document as, what is it? In early 2024, while he was still banned, he attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims about Leffen. Mikey, I challenge you. I'm really challenging you, Mikey. Don't fucking Kendrick post like you're really like that. You're not like that. I challenge you to really tell me what in that January 2024 appeal was defamatory. Everything he...
That's the thing. Here I'm kind of confused because it seems like what this guy Mikey did, who is the person who wrote that doc that you're reading right now. He's saying that Hacks reached out to TOs, like he's privately reached out to TOs, and he still believes them to be true, or he attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims about Leffen. Like, is he trying to say that was a result from the video that we just watched, or is that something that isn't out there and that the public knows about yet? You know. But besides the point, you know, I think finding out this is, I mean, not besides the point, but like, I think finding this out is important. He attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims in early 2024. And that video that we just watched, was, let's see.
He said was based in fucking...
Oh, no. Early 2024. 4 months ago when? Is that here? Yep. Yep. Okay, so this is late 2024. Okay. This is January 28th, 2024. So what this TO has to be talking about here is something that happened aside from this video. And I wonder if that's what
his
I don't
initial
know if
in early 20 also, you know, he could have done better, but I really don't think he should have been banned for that. Permanently banned for that? People, this is like 11-year-old information, by the way. Who the fuck cares if it's released? Completely irrelevant to these people's lives. Besides arguably having their names there, which, you know, he could have done better, but I really don't think he should have been banned for that. Permanently banned for that? Clearly, he's just not allowed to talk about evidence.zip or else he'll get permanently banned. And Mikey frames it in this document as, what is it? In early 2024, while he was still banned, he attempted again to justify his initial defamatory claims about Leffen. Mikey, I challenge you. I'm really challenging you, Mikey.
In early
Don't fucking Kendrick post like you're really like that. You're not like that. I challenge you to really tell me what in that January 2024 appeal was defamatory. Everything he said was based in
literally like I said, unless he's referencing something else that wasn't in the actual appeal. You know? So, I gotta find that out.
Reasonable thought and citations. What defamatory claims did he justify against him? He also said he's looking for a neutral resolution. So what defamatory claims is he justifying? What? Like, what? Like, actually, what is he trying to justify here? I don't get it. I get that his private interactions with TOs may be different, but this public announcement is what he was banned for. Not the private shit.
Really? How? I mean, where does it say
And
that?
Leffen is a fucking dickhead. So you're trying to force this guy to give you a genuine apology to a guy who is a fucking asshole. Let's go through some sources here. This guy's a fucking dick and is known as like one of the most hated people in the FGC. You want a genuine apology from Hacks to that guy, and then you're surprised when it's not genuine. Like, here's a few instances. This is a video literally titled SF6 Pros Hating on Leffen for 7 minutes.
He actually looks like he knows everyone hates him. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? That's Snake Eyes, a Street Fighter player. I think he also played Guilty Gear at one point. This is Leffen on Smashboards. This is the ban he doesn't think he deserves, by the way. When he's talking to Mike Hager, he says, "I've made some mistakes and I will certainly make more, but I will learn and improve from them. And honestly, I wouldn't take any advice from you if you were the last person on Earth, since really you're fucking terrible at everything I value. Whether it be mental health, social life, Smash, school, being fit, commentary, work, or simply not being ugly as fuck, as far as I'm concerned, you're fucking terrible at all of it." This is Leffen during the time. This is a month before he got banned, by the way.
Like,
he's saying this shit about Mike Hager.
I'm just reading.
Calling people...
obviously reading some of this shit. Could be really funny to
I don't
read.
want to say that. I don't want to get demonetized, but
it's
the
messed
R
up,
word.
though, of
He's
course.
calling people the R word in 2013, which is not okay, guys. That's fucked up. But just generally being a condescending asshole, right? And then we have, obviously, making fun of Rocky's hearing disability, making fun of the handicapped community member. Awesome. Then we have Emery. This was
messed up.
What was this? 2 months ago in March. Emery saying, "Yo, this Leffen dude is a fucking cornball." 4,000 likes, by the way. "I've never seen a chat full of people afraid to tell someone they're wrong so they don't get insta-banned. Just hundreds of drones sucking up to a dude who doesn't know what's going on is crazy." This is a Tekken player, has nothing to do with Hacks. This was 2 months ago. Shin Kenso addressing the Leffen situation 2 years ago. Again, nothing to do with Hacks, just him being an asshole in Guilty Gear. And then we have him in 2020, this was like right after the allegations and stuff. He's arguing with the fucking creative director at Optic about skill-based matchmaking when he's not a professional FPS player, by the way. And he's just insulting him, saying, this guy's all like, "I've been a fan of you and Melee for years, and it's the reason I got into this industry in the first place. We'll just agree to disagree, brother. Fucking hell." And Leffen's like, keep gaslighting your 14-year-old audience. Peace, bros. See you later. Great talk. Fucking humble yourself and try to understand the other 99% of the player base instead of running away and jerking off to your shitty clips versus noobs.
I mean, I don't think this stuff is like that
This is why
bad.
he's hated, because he's a fucking condescending asshole. To
Yeah,
a fuck ton of people. There's so many reasons to dislike Leffen that has nothing to do with Hacks' coverage. Absolutely nothing. When Leffen posts about Leffen, he gets hate.
I'm not,
okay?
I'm just
How you're holding Hacks to that standard is insane and incredibly unreasonable.
Because it's like, it's not like what he's saying in any of these things are like actually like incriminatingly bad. Like he's just being a fucking dickhead, you know? And that's just how some people are. They just want to be at times. But I'd even argue that being like as honest as possible isn't always being a dickhead, you know? Like, I don't, in a lot of these clips, except for like the first Smashboards one, I don't think it's like that crazy, really.
But whatever. All right, let's get to the rest of this document. Bro treats his fans worse than LTG. There's actually a moment where someone calls him Vanilla LTG, and that's the guy he's responding to in replies to Inconsiderate Raccoon that he banned from his chat over arguing about the term old head. He calls the person illiterate and then calls them a shitter, and then says he doesn't want to hear shitters like him tell him obvious information or advice 20 times a match. So he just straight up bans them out of his chat. So yeah, I covered that in the hour-long video too, but whatever, let's keep going. Has privately told TOs that he still believes them to be true as recently as early May. Who cares what he privately thinks about Leffen? That doesn't affect shit for nothing. How is that going to incite harassment against Leffen if he privately thinks that he's a piece of shit?
I guess they try to say like, oh, if Hax like still feels this way about Leffen, then maybe he's like a danger to him in some way, shape, or form. That's like where it comes from. It's all about safety. All right, if you believe that someone is a horrible, shitty motherfucking person, like, you know, are you like a danger to them in any way? And I think that is still a shitty, horrible excuse to ban someone. It's just really, to be fucking blunt, it's not that fucking serious, bro. It's just not that serious, man. You know how many people think so many people are like super, mega shitty, but they just don't speak up about it, perhaps? Like, or whatever. Like, I don't think this idea of like just banning people because they think someone else is like a really shitty motherfucking person is valid at all, man. Like, it's just not valid, dude. It leads to a bunch of other problems that doesn't need to be like problems.
Who colluded with Jisoo? You can't even prove that he didn't. So who cares? Honestly, who fucking cares? You're gonna ban him for wrong thought at this point? Wrong think? Like what? Hax still privately believes things that I don't like.
Yep.
Fuck you. Who cares?
It's really
You're not the
that
fucking
deep.
thought police.
Exactly.
At least I thought you
oh
weren't.
my God.
See what I did there? Okay, next paragraph. You mean a thought crime? Yes, thought crime. Hax has persistently tried to discuss his ban with me and other TOs. I personally haven't spoken with him despite his numerous attempts to contact me on Discord, where I blocked him, and now on Twitter. Again, this is the guy who claims that I blocked him first, but whatever. I believe there is nothing for us to discuss. I do not have final say on any ban decisions for any tournaments except Smash Camp, and again, I do not want to give Hax or anyone the impression that I am primarily responsible for his ban, when dozens of other organizers signed on to it. Even though Mikey has...
It just sounds like this guy's trying to, like, literally just be as safe as possible, be as, like, you know, in the clear as much as possible. He doesn't want issues with the community. He doesn't want issues with Hax. Like, it's like, bro, man. It's like, I get being in that circumstance, but, bro, I'm not a fan of how he's like handling this situation.
Taken up the task of explaining why he should be permabanned in both instances, both after the indefinite ban and right now with a 3-page document titled Hax Ban. He doesn't want to give off that impression.
Also, sorry I haven't been peeping the YouTube chat. What up, though, everybody from YouTube? Okay. Sorry.
Throughout all of this process, I've tried to be very careful about not pathologizing Hax or trying to make any claims about his mental state in the same way he spoke about Leffen.
So I can now see comments from YouTube.
I don't have it pulled up right now, but again, it's in the video coming up. Mikey compares Hax's rhetoric to QAnon, alleging human trafficking of children and harvesting their adrenochrome, which is not an extreme example.
Hold on, what?
To QAnon, alleging human trafficking to make any claims about his mental state in the same way he spoke about Leffen. I don't have it pulled up right now, but again, it's in the video coming up. Mikey compares Hax's rhetoric to QAnon, alleging human trafficking of children and harvesting their adrenochrome, which is not an extreme example to make and is not at all pathologizing his following or his rhetoric. But he does compare him to QAnon, so I guess there's that. I guess that's not an extreme example. He's just trying his best to be unbiased. I believe when bans are handed down, they should be for the purpose of mitigating future harm and not strictly for punitive reasons. This is a pretty easy standard to reach, for example, in cases of sexual misconduct. Wait, did I already read this? Blah, blah, blah. No, sexual misconduct, blah, blah, blah. Hax's case is a bit more complicated, in my opinion. I believe the main harm that arose as a result of Hax's actions listen up, guys. Listen up. This is important. This part is very important. Listen up. Hey. Listen up, guys. I believe the main harm that arose as a result of Hax's actions did not come from him directly. Because remember, as we just saw in the video that got him banned for life, where he's literally apologizing to Leffen, seeking a neutral resolution, apologizing for his hyperbole, and explaining his perspective as an original evidence.zip witness, which got Leffen successfully banned for a year from his own community for harassment, bullying, and lying.
For that reason, I initially believed that it could be possible for Hax to be unbanned as long as he did not do anything to incite further harassment, bro. Are you kidding me? So, they literally think, yep, just like I said, man, and it's not shocking. It's just that, you know, they feel that because Hax is, like, continuing to talk about the topic, or whatever, releasing that video, perhaps, that alone is inciting further harassment. And that's what they think.
But it's his following. It's his following
Which
that's
is
the main
a preposterous take.
Right. The following that he's condemning before he says anything, it's the following that he condemns. So not really his followers, just people taking up arms and having their own agency, but whatever, that doesn't matter in Smash. For that reason, I initially believed that it could be possible for Hax to be unbanned as long as he did not do anything to incite further harassment. Mikey alleging that he's inciting harassment by apologizing to Leffen. Shortly after his initial videos, he asked me to have a conversation with him. He expressed remorse for the public shit show he had caused, but when we spoke, he basically took me through an outline of his claims about Leffen. I told him that many of his claims, because they were based on psychoanalytic assumptions about Leffen and not concrete evidence, could not be taken seriously. Antos, welcome to the fucking tech support, detective, whatever. I forgot. I'm split between the Rat Gang and tech support. Yeah, tech support. Welcome to tech support.
I agree. Devil Dude Nearest.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Antos. I told him that many of his claims were based on not concrete evidence, could not be taken seriously. For instance, he alleged that because Leffen spoke to Jisoo about her allegations against Zero before publicly talking about them. Again, he's highlighting the Zero stuff, but as we just saw in the video that got him permabanned, he didn't mention Zero once. Not a single time in the 9 minutes. You can go through the transcript. I don't even think he says the numerical value 0. Leffen spoke to Jisoo about her allegations against Zero before publicly talking about them. Zero and others have claimed that these allegations were false, but there's no evidence to suggest that Leffen helped fabricate any allegations, knew Jisoo was lying, or even had any reason to believe the claims might be false. Okay, while there's no statement where Leffen's like, yeah, I'm fucking lying, dude, this is all speculation. It's all speculation. There's no evidence that he didn't do any of this, as well as there's no evidence that he did.
Yep. 100%.
You can get links together. You can put together pieces and be like, I think he might have done this because he's really gunning for Zero, trying to prove that he likes hentai, just to defend Jisoo, who he did talk to before posting his original allegation right here, where he said he wants to be friends with both of them, even though that's fucking bullshit. But yeah. You can't prove that what Hax is saying is false, as a matter of fact. So to keep alleging that it's just false allegations based on nothing, you need to actually prove that what he's saying, beyond a shadow of doubt, is wrong. If you're going to permaban him for life when he's trying to argue his own case. And even then, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if that's what he thinks in private? How is that going to affect him playing Melee? Leffen is essentially not even competing in Melee right now, so what the fuck do you care? Where are we? I asked him whether he believed there was any chance Leffen believed in good faith what Jisoo had to say, and he responded that he was 99% sure that Leffen had colluded with Jisoo to lie about Zero. For him, the lack of evidence is offset by his dogmatic belief that Leffen is a fundamentally evil person, and for that reason, he cannot be charitable towards him. Again, who fucking cares? Who cares, dude? Remember when it used to be Settle It in Smash? Do you guys remember when Salty Sweets weren't some fucking fabricated beef where both of the people have to pretend that they like each other and like shake hands and not be too toxic, otherwise they're gonna get banned. And people actually had genuine beef, and then they would play and it would be super hype and there would be content, and it wasn't just fucking Hungrybox barely snapping a chair on stage to get an article written about him. Remember when that was happening? Remember when we didn't need to fabricate pop-offs and do a photo shoot with a fucking chair to get viral clips and beefs going? Remember when that was happening? Remember when there was actual plot lines and storylines? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I get to fucking have blessed us yet again. What is this? This was evident when earlier this year he again publicly repeated the claim about Jisoo and Leffen, and privately told TOs that he believed the claim to be true as recently as early May. Wow. In the interim, he has had countless conversations with TOs and other community members who have tried in good faith to explain to him why they believed he was wrong. In many cases, just as with my conversation, he would express remorse when asking to talk, and then fixate on asking what he could do to be unbanned, or gish gallop through his talking points about Leffen again.
It's like, obviously he wants to like be unbanned, bro.
I don't know why he points out
Like,
that Leffen's
I'm
fixated on
I'm
getting
saying that,
unbanned,
like, it's
or
like,
not Leffen.
When people are like surprised that, you know, like when these TOs are like surprised that like he's doing what he can do to just like get unbanned, it's like, bro, this should not be surprising to you. Like, he's going through it and he wants to fucking be unbanned, bro. Like, he's in a circumstance where like he's not really like he hasn't really been in a real fair circumstance from the start. So you can't expect someone who wasn't really placed in like a fair circumstance from the start to like react fairly to like you guys, you know, like, you know, you can't really like expect that. You cannot expect respect without giving it first type of mentality. Even if it may not like directly compare, you know, like they want him to just be like just chill or, you know, whatever. But dude, you're dealing with someone who really fucking has so much passion for this game, has done so much for the game, and like, of course, dude, they're gonna want to like fixate on certain things. Like, it shouldn't be shocking.
And Hax is fixated on getting unbanned. No shit. He's been banned for 3 years, and he's talking to you, the guy
What did I just say? You know,
controlling his ban. Yeah, he's fixated on getting unbanned while talking to the guy who banned him. Yes. Yeah, that was a part of your conversations, I imagine. Sounds pretty fucking normal to me. The guy who spent like over 15 years of his life building a company around this game is fixated on getting unbanned so he can financially, you know, benefit from the community that he loves yet again. Yes, he's fixated on that. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you for pointing that out. What I've come to believe is that Hax is throwing everything he can at the wall in order to be unbanned. Fucking Hax is doing everything he can to be unbanned.
I know, it's so
another
it's such
point
a
against
fucking
Hax.
shocking thing.
Another point against Hax. Rack him up, Mikey. Rack him up.
Someone who has been banned for so long, bro. Like, are you serious, bro? Quick, like, little. I want to see if anything. All right.
Yes, he's doing everything he can to be unbanned. What a piece of shit. Any remorse he claimed to have in his public apologies is belied by what he said privately. And most importantly, publicly to his audience that he knows has a history of malicious harassment. Hax fucking sucks at making videos. Hax is not the main reason why Leffen left his main channel for 9 months. It is Franchise's video that has 1.6 million views calling him a fraud and a liar, and it was both my Skyhouse video that has over 600,000 views and the Zero video that got taken down as a part of the fucking settlement between Zero and Jisoo that was trending and had over 700,000 views. That was the reason Leffen left his main channel for 9 months and locked down all of his replies on Twitter. Not Hax. Hax's video got, what, like fucking 20,000 views and then got shit on by not only the commentary community, I'm pretty sure Franchise was shitting on it too. I watched it. I tried to make sense of it at the time, but even I knew there was some tomfuckery going on. There were some really stupid arguments being made. Everyone agreed it was fucking stupid. That was not the reason that Leffen got all of that harassment. It's because Leffen's a piece of shit, and he was working with Jisoo, who ended up having to delete her allegations because she was posting a bunch of bullshit about Sky and Zero in a mega document. Why the fuck is she the one making a mega document about allegations, first off? These women have two hands. They can post allegations on their fucking own. Why are they running through her like she's a allegation middleman? That doesn't even make any sense. What's up, Zero? But yeah. Sorry. This is like my expertise. So when I get going, I'm like I fucking 100 miles per hour, dude. I could talk about this shit for hours. History of malicious harassment. He's positioned any conversation he's had almost entirely on what he needs to do in order to be unbanned. Again, he's talking to a tournament organizer. You're not his friend. You're not the fucking police. You're the people banning him from his passion for over a decade. So yes, he's positioning any conversation he's had with you about what he needs to do to play the fucking game again. Yes, that's what he's doing. No shit. No fucking shit.
Should not be shocking, bro.
Oh my god. Sorry, this gets me so fucking... It's so insane. It's insane the way that they frame this shit. Like, yes, the guy is asking you what he needs to do to be unbanned, and you are not giving him any pathway to a legitimate second chance. They met in November to try and talk about it. They couldn't even agree on a ban length. Yet people want to say, oh, he broke the rule about not talking about his ban, so... sorry, I guess we just have to ban you for life. We know you didn't break any rules. We know that you're not a threat. It's just your followers. We don't like your followers. What the fuck?
That shit is fucking crazy,
oh my god.
bro.
Sorry, I'm fucking pissed off. We're almost done. Let's get through it. Because I have to get back to editing anyways. I cannot speak for everyone, but Hax will never be unbanned from events I run. So brave. So powerful. Even now I'm hesitant to even discuss how we might best go about mitigating the harm he's caused.
Yo, what's up, Rango?
I'm worried he will frame it as some sort of hope for an unban, like how they gave him an indefinite ban in the first place, which has given him this hope and has driven him fucking crazy over 3 years, not getting an actual chance to be a part of the community again. But the fact that he's so singular... The fact that he's...
Because in reality, this type of shit happens, man. Like, and I was saying this concept the other day. When you treat somebody who doesn't really deserve, like, the treatment that they're getting, in such a way where, like, they're like a criminal, or, like, you know, you're really holding, like, something that they cared so much about, when it's like they truly don't deserve to be treated that way, those types of people, man, are at that point, it should not be shocking to see them, like, have a like mental breakdowns, or just like any type of like mental issues, or just be, showing that they are motherfucking suffering and shit like that. Like people that genuinely, like, they really understand that they, like, made a fucking terrible mistake, right? Or, like, did something that was, like, really bad, like we've seen in the Smash community. Like, we've seen instances, obviously, where, we can say with, like, a lot of the players that got canceled for, fucking being predatory towards, like, minors or whatever. They're not, like, they're not on social media, like, pleading to come back to tournaments, like, they're not pleading to, like, like, please let me come back to the tournaments, like, I really don't think I did anything wrong. Nah, yo, they're straight up like, yo, or a lot of them are like, yo, like, I fucked up, this is what I did. And, like, they fucking, they try their best to move on, because they recognize that they really did make a big mistake. But when you're now placing somebody who kind of, like, doesn't truly deserve it, and you're treating them just like how you would treat somebody else, like, that's gonna be some, like, real, like, painful shit. Like, that's gonna be, like, that's gonna be, like, real painful when you treat certain people who, like, shouldn't necessarily be criminalized when you treat them like criminals. You know, and it's clear that, like, I'll also say, like, in the hack situation, that, like, obviously he knew his intentions when he was, like, coming out with the videos that he was making. Like, he knew what his intentions were. And he genuinely did not believe that, like, his actions would, like, lead to this. Like, he did not believe that just by him speaking his mind, like, even with how, like, extreme he went about everything, he did not believe that he would probably literally just get canceled for it. Or not canceled, but be banned from Melee for it. So, you know, it's like, if he knew that this would be an outcome, like, he would not do that, you know? If he knew from the jump that, like, this would be the outcome, he wouldn't, like, intentionally motherfucking, you know, come out with, like, that video or whatever. He thought he was doing something that was, like, for the greater good. You know, trying to, like, get, I guess, Leffen out of the community or whatever. But I mean, I might even be a little bit confused on that, because I thought that going back on what Hax was saying, he released his video to just get the episode of Leffen's God Slayer documentary banned, but not, like, have Leffen actually banned. Some shit like that. So, you know, but one thing led to another, and he's clearly just been, like, regretful of it. But yeah, no, I'm a firm believer that, you know, when you, like, really, like, when you really do some foul shit to people that truly don't deserve it, like, you know, like, people will really see, like, what that leads to. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point you see, like, what that type of stuff leads to, at least in, like, a lot of instances. And you know, that's just what it boils down to. There's it's messed up, man. It's messed up. And yeah, that's all I can really say right now about that.
So singularly focused on that, seemingly without even considering why he may have been wrong about the substance of his claims, to me indicates that he's not and may never be willing to address the root of the issue at hand. And of course, the root of the issue is that he disagrees with their framing of allegations, and that Leffen is a fucking asshole. So to get unbanned, Mikey has positioned it as he needs to agree with our position on Leffen, that he is not a fucking sociopathic piece of shit, and that he didn't collude to benefit from the allegations. Hold on, let me pull up a clip real quick. I have a document over here. I don't want you guys to see the title of the video because it's a surprise for you guys. Right here.
And
Shut up. This is one of his videos that he uploaded titled "The Smash Community Will Never Be the Same Again." But listen to this clip right here.
knowing what harassment they would face, I don't think they get enough credit. And honestly, I've been struggling with feelings of guilt because I've gained a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, and attention because of these awful things happening. And I know many people have struggled with the same feelings.
It's such a struggle. As I'm making myself a voice, a spokesperson for all the allegations. It feels so bad. Guys, please stop following and donating. It fucking hurts. It's like a poison. It's like a toxin. Poor Leffen for getting so many views and so many followers after uploading 2 videos about this, which are some of his biggest videos, by the way. Poor Leffen. Poor Leff. He's guilty about it, though. He's guilty about it. His 3rd biggest video regarding the recent allegations within the Smash community. And then if we go through his videos, these were uploaded fucking back to back. where is it? Where's this fucking shit? Cry. This is fucking 27 minutes of him talking about this shit. And that's not pointing actions, even points. If I was to make over like $100 from this stream, I don't think I could recover. I'm just throwing that out there. To me indicate
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't, when it comes to, like, Leffen's whole, like, thing in this, I'm not, like, judging Leffen on necessarily being, like, a shit person. I mean, like, I don't really think, like, again, with all that, like, Leffen has had in this, from what I've seen so far, as far as him, like, just backing up Jisoo and, like, doing what he's been doing, I don't think he's really done anything, like, necessarily wrong. You know? But I think there's a lot more that I haven't seen. Like, I'm not sure his stance on hacks entirely. Like, I don't remember him, or I haven't seen a video of him, like, speaking on the hack situation or, like, what he actually feels. But, like, you know, at a certain point, though, I would, like, I mean, I don't know. Before I even say that, I don't want to, like, I gotta see more stuff, but, yeah.
States that he's not and may never be willing to address the root of the issue at hand. Okay, we already did that. In a document he sent to TOs on May 20th, I bit my tongue. In a document he sent to TOs on May 20th, Hacks mentioned as a reason why he should be unbanned that okay, this is fucking stupid. This is why Hacks needs a handler. I love black people. Oh my god, member for 33 months. This is one of the people that pays my rent. Thank you, Apple. I appreciate you. In a document he sent to TOs on May 20th, Hacks mentioned as a reason why he should be unbanned that his YouTube comments and replies on Twitter are largely supportive of his unban. And anecdotally, it seems a large amount of the support is not from people.
Yep, I'll definitely address that too, Aramis. Yep, but for anybody in chat, we did hit actually 16,000 YouTube subs, bro, which is actually crazy, man. I gotta be better about YouTube and content right now. I've been slacking a tad bit, but we're gonna get back into it. But yeah, bro, we did. Congrats, bro. You're the GOAT.
People who agree with his initial claims, but rather from people who believed he is reformed. I genuinely believe that Hacks is on the spectrum. I don't think he really understands the social element of shit like a campaign against someone or whatever, which is why his initial video was so fucking bad. Yeah, because this is a terrible argument. This is a terrible argument to make. He doesn't advocate for himself.
Largely supportive of his unbanned and anecdotally seems to apply to but I don't agree. Okay. And using his public support as leverage is not like an invalid thing to do, bro. Like, you're showing like the amounts of people that literally agree, which overall, to be honest, seems like the majority of, like, it seems like actually the vocal majority from what I have been seeing on Twitter. If it's not 50-50, it's like 60-40. People saying that Hack should just be able to fucking play the game again, man, and compete in tournaments. So I don't think him using that, like, they try to, it's, dude, it's, I really dislike how certain people go about certain things, for sure. Like, okay, because he's showing us all of these people that are in support of him, we're going to now use that to even further make it so why his ban is, like, permanent. Because he's, like, using it as leverage. And it's like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? That shit is fucked up.
Self well at all. But the issue is that he shouldn't have to do this. He shouldn't have to do all this shit. If in a just and ideal society, we would be setting up a salty suite between these two for like $1,000, and then we'd be getting content. We'd be fucking, you need to be doing what I'm doing and milk this drama. because that would be fucking sick. I don't think I could find a single person in the Smash community. Well, there's probably someone who's going to say it just in spite. But I can't find anyone in good faith that would say a match between, like, first to 5 or first to 10 between Hax and Leffen wouldn't be hype, or at least be like a viral or interesting clip or stream to watch. That would be fucking sick. That would be awesome. But instead, I have to read this fucking stupid-ass 3-page document by Mikey, whose company got dissolved, by the way. This is the thing. Mikey worked for a company that had to dissolve because they couldn't even fucking afford to stay in business. VGBC had to downsize because their fucking tournament got canceled. These people that don't even know how to operate their own fucking businesses are trying to tell you how to run a community. These people that can't even, these guys that can't even spend the time to groom themselves and potentially might be grooming children behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm just fucking, oh, why did you block me, Mikey? Are trying to tell you how to make proper content, are trying to tell you how to run a community, are trying to tell you what would be optimal to avoid further harassment. Oh, salty sweet. Oh, a salty sweet is when both people pretend to dislike each other so you can fucking get that hypothetically, yes, allegedly. Like, what? Every time I see Hungerbox post about a salty sweet, it's because someone said, like, the slightest thing in opposition to someone else that you can tell is very inoffensive, so he can market it very easily. There's never any real beef, because if there is real beef, you're going to get a fucking 3-page Google Doc telling you why that person shouldn't be allowed to play the game for the rest of his life. So I don't know. That's my fucking breakdown of this. I think it's bullshit. I think perma-banning him for his January 2024 ban appeal, where I showed you there's nothing inoffensive. There's nothing offensive in that video. It is literally him talking about his perspective as an original evidence.zip witness, and yet they use that and their stupid-ass fucking rule that they made up about not being allowed to talk about the topic of his ban to then justify banning him for life, when he only agreed to these rules because he would not be allowed to play the game if he didn't agree to every rule that they set out. And they know this. They know this. They could say Hax has to eat a plate of his own shit live on VGBC's channel, and he would do that if it meant he could go to fucking the big house. Right? They know that. They know that. They know that they could twist his arm, psychologically torture this guy who's been dealing with recreational drug use. He's been dealing with losing his fucking career, losing his passion of over a decade. They can abuse him, make these fucking stupid ass rules, do whatever they want, and he'll be forced to agree with it. Otherwise, his options are insanely limited, and he will not be allowed to play the game that he loves. So, or we could just, stop being fucking lame as shit, posting allegations every other week, and just settle it in Smash, and then actually get some real content. But no, this is how we choose to deal with it. Hax is banned for making Leffen feel threatened. That's not even the thing, though, Zero. It's the people that he doesn't even advocate for. It's the people that Hax doesn't even support. It's the people that Hax disavows that are making these comments and saying this shit about Leffen. When Leffen is off calling other people a disgusting piece of shit after raging in Guilty Gear, he's banning people for giving him the advice on his streams.
I mean, I don't think... I'll say, like... I don't think, like... people sending, like, certain threats towards Leffen, right? Like, these little, like, random, like people in the comments or whatever that are making Leffen feel threatened is comparable to, like, Leffen just calling fucking certain people pieces of shit and, like, whatever. Like, I don't really think it's totally comparable. But if Technicals is trying to say, oh, like, just by Leffen with his big platform, potentially, like, calling certain people pieces of shits and, like, blocking them and stuff, that incites that can also be seen as, like, inciting harassment against them. There's some people that would genuinely believe that. It's like by the merit that, like, the Smash community is trying to use for, like, Hax inciting violence, it could also be seen with that same, like, logic that with Leffen with his huge platform, simply just shitting on somebody or, like, calling them a piece of shit or whatever can also incite harassment towards the person, technically. And it's like, although I disagree with both, obviously, I don't think what Hax is doing is inciting necessarily like is inciting harassment necessarily. From what I've seen so far, like in these videos, and I also don't think Leffen calling someone a fucking piece of shit and blocking them is also inciting harassment towards them. No, like that's just not. It's not fair to fucking say that someone, fucking just being a dick, is inciting harassment. Like, no, it's not the case. Or whatever. So, yep.
While Leffen's off doing that and cultivating his, like, he's good enough at cultivating the hate for himself. Hax then gets blamed for Leffen being a hated figure when he is considered not only a villain, his nickname is literally a fucking villain, but he's like one of the most hated people in the FGC. Just look at the response to him winning Evo with Happy Chaos. Like, people don't like him. People don't like him. Whether it's justified or not, which I think it is justified, arguable, whatever, people don't like Leffen. You can't force Hax to fucking apologize to him and say that he doesn't think he's a piece of shit when that's not even a fair assessment to make. That's not fair. That's not fair to Hax. I don't think that's fair to anyone. Yeah, okay. I need to get back to editing, guys. If you want to give me $100 right now, this is the last chance. But that's what I had to say about Mikey's document. Mikey decided...
And Technical should actually be releasing a video today, low-key, about this shit. But I guess he's like... he's waiting. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely make like a post on this, and like, you know, now that like I know a lot more from like the beginning to the end, I'm sure there's like a lot of stuff that I don't know still. But yeah, long story short, like he definitely should be unbanned for sure. As of right now and everything that I've seen, it's just, you know, he's really going through it, and like the community is not handling this in the right way.
I cannot lose.
Yo, we got G Money, my goat, in the building. Thank you for the sub, bro. Much love. 58 motherfucking months, dude. You're goated, bro. Much love, G. How you been, bro? But yeah, I'm gonna like quote tweet one of Hax's tweets, and but he said doubling down. What do you mean by doubling down, though? I'm trying to like think like, is that, was that video literally considered a double down? I thought he was just like explaining like why he came to that decision. So it's like, now I feel like by him saying like he's doubling down, he's like kind of giving in to like, you know, what they're making him believe that he's doing. Because I didn't consider what he was doing like him necessarily doubling down. But yeah. But yeah, right now, I'll let the water settle. I mean, the only thing is that Hax has already been away. Like, he's been offline for a while, you know? That's what I feel like this whole thing is like he's been offline for a while already. Like, he knows what it's like to be away from the game. He knows what it's like to seek help elsewhere. Like he knows what that's like. He's been through a lot of those steps. And he's really just asking for like a second chance in the community. Or another chance rather. But it's like, Just the fact that he's in this circumstance at all is what's crazy. But yeah, like so many people are saying stuff like, yo, Hacks, you need time away. Like, if you feel this way about this fucking video game, then you just need help. Like, you definitely shouldn't be involved in the community if you feel this level of like passion or whatever for like this game. And man, there's so many people. I just want to be like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Like you guys do not like. There's so many people that just don't understand what it's like to have a true passion for something. They just don't understand what that's like. And to think that, you know, they have like a say in what's best for someone, when they don't even know what that's like or whatever, just being like I can get it. It might be coming from a good place. Like, yo, if you feel this way, like, you know, you really should seek help elsewhere. Like, this game isn't everything. It's like, listen, yo, everyone has a right to like pursue what they're fucking passionate about, even if it's like drawing, even if it's coloring on the sidewalk for 20 years, bro. If people want to do that and they find that as an outlet and they find like happiness in that and they find purpose in that, like, that's their decision to make. First of all, that's not anyone else's decision to make. And everyone has a right to be like that level of passionate about something and to feel that way about something. That's just how it is. Like, that's the beauty of freedom is, you know, you may find purpose in drawing on the sidewalk. You may find purpose in playing a video game, or doing whatever. And some people really find that a lifestyle, especially with someone in Hacks' circumstance. This is something that they have been doing for almost literally 2 decades, if not 2 decades. That is a huge amount of time. And it's not even just about the game. It's about, like, it's literally like a family as well. Like, he has so many people in this community. He's so used to going to tournaments. He's so used to doing this whole thing. Like, it shouldn't even have to even really be, like, explained, really, everything that he you know, faces or whatever that he deals with from just competing in this game and being in this community. And yeah, no, the answer isn't always, oh, like, send them, they need to clearly find help elsewhere if they're this passionate about it. Dude, no, that's just not the answer. It's not that simple, and in fact can be very, very harmful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain things are just like, it's just you know, it's not like he's dealing with a person and is being like obsessive over a person, you know, where it's like, okay, like, if your only outlet is like being around this person, then all right, then you need to seek help elsewhere. Like, because that's obviously problematic. But this is a hobby. This is competing in tournaments at, like, in a video game, dude. It's just, it's not the same. And if he wants to dedicate his entire life to this game and doing that, like, that's his decision. And he's doing it for a reason, because he feels like it's what he's supposed to be doing right now. And some people just act like it's so easy, or like the answer is to just like find another outlet or find another passion, and it just doesn't work that way. It just does not work that way for people that really feel a sense of purpose in certain things. And you know, to expect somebody who is like Hacks and like so many other people who are like pros at what they do, to expect them, especially after putting 20 years into something, to just easily walk away without doing something that, like, what Hacks is doing right now, like venting to the community, like literally begging to just like be able to come back and compete again. If people expect that, if people like don't expect that from someone like hacks or anything, then they're also not looking at the situation accurately. It's just like, it's just an unfortunate circumstance. Like, it's one thing to do lots of things based on safety, right? And this is like another topic, is that safety obviously is like the most important thing for sure. But there's also a line that needs to be there, because not everything that is done like to prevent something from happening, not always is that the best decision to make, nor is that like the most like humane decision to make. Prioritizing safety at the cost of like someone else's like demise, or you know, like some really like unjust thing, is just fucked up. And it just should not be the case. Like, not always is like, is choosing those options, is that like the best thing to do. And that's just the case. And I think that ideology like definitely is fucking with this community a ton. Because that type of mentality doesn't allow for second chances, or like it doesn't allow for like true redemption at all. Because so many people are down to choose the option of, we're not gonna allow this person to have a chance of redemption due to like their action, because they fear that that person will make the same mistake again. But by not choosing that, by not allowing that one chance of redemption, you don't allow somebody to like literally be a better person. Like, you just don't allow it. Like, that's the price. Like, you don't allow a chance for someone to like be a better person. And I'm not saying in like all cases should there necessarily be second chances. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in certain situations, I definitely believe that there should be second chances given. And one of those examples would be this situation here, with hacks. As for like, you know, but even this situation is tricky, because it's like, should what he was banned for, is it really, really ban worthy? If you're not making a threat on somebody, if you're not like whatever, if you're not like actually inciting violence on them, should that be ban worthy? You know? And I overall like disagree with that, because it's just, I don't think shit has to be blown out of proportion like that. And you can't always make certain people fucking responsible for other people's actions either. Like, you have to put more credit in the people actually doing the fucking harmful shit. You can't just try to blame the person who is like stating their opinion on something or whatever. Like, it's just, you can't be doing that. That's not for a like functional society. That's when, like, you know, it's just a fucking echo chamber. And people can't really like say what the fuck they want to say and really put what they're saying out there. But yeah, you should be freed, bro. Like, I want to see Hacks play again. I genuinely don't think he's a danger. I think he is someone who is worth giving a second chance to. And yeah, like, I think that he I don't even know if second chance is the right word. I just think he should be able to play again. And I think that this whole situation it shouldn't have really happened from the beginning. But because there's no order in this community, because there's just like so many TOs and people out there who want to always play it safe by like what the majority of the public is saying, it just leads to chaos, and it leads to a bad community at the end of the day. So but yeah, so I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna make like a little post, like Omega sharing, I guess, what I think in like a more like organized fashion. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this little stream though. Hopefully I caught some of you guys up to everything. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna make a tweet soon. All right. But yeah, what's up, Premi? Larger FGC issue. Players become banned for life. Yeah. There's definitely the topic of second chances is a very tricky topic to discuss. But I think it's something that's worth talking about because it's very, very important to allow people to be better people without completely cutting them off. Of course, decisions like that require a sense of risk, and people just don't want to take that risk. And that's what it boils down. That's what it boils down to. People do not want to take the risk to allow someone to be a better person. They'd rather just do the Omega safest option and just keep them banned. And yeah, that's what it boils down to. But certain risks are necessary for a society to be like the best society that it could possibly be. So, all right, I'm gonna catch you